Welcome back to the Unfortunate Sons, our Sunday session 24. A grave error. The session was supposed to happen last time, and instead, we ended up with a different sort of situation with the party heading to Abaddon in a dreamlike state as Lagrosa, right before the battle would kick off, seemed to cast something. The party, hearing a strange combination of words, realizing rather quickly that this was not a requirement of the spell, as the spell went off and causing the entirety of their group, except for Frungus and Sprungus, to be dragged into Abaddon mentally and taken away themselves, almost or given the task by El Ugbo to find out what Shal, the new demon lord of Abaddon, was looking to achieve with his newfound power. Party, to their relief, finding out they did not need to fight, said Demon Lord, nor at all meet, said Demon Lord, to find this information. The party spent most of the session at that point, then exploring through Abaddon, learning a good bit of information. As the party had agreed, a lore dump session and one of those sessions that will probably be rewatched a few times to catch everything. From the Triton named Wavecaller, to Grandpa, the Elder King's explanation, to Alluvia, the Life Mage, and her explanation of rebirth. A lot was explained, a lot would go down. However, as the biggest highlight, I think, from that entire session was, in my opinion, Kesnanok going into the ring with two, and someone please pronounce it because I never get this right. Hekana.
Hecatoncurries.
What was that? Say that again?
Hecatoncurries.
Thank you. Two of the creatures, and managing to take at least three blows before fully going down and being pounded into the ground over and over again to prove his worthiness to the great grandpa himself. The
A heck
party,
a ton
though,
of pain.
yes, truly. The party, thankfully, with the that managed to get Grandpa to give them a good bit of information, as well as got a good bit of notice about themselves and a future of their own characters, and a few magic items to take home with them. A book, seemingly that had allowed them to see the ranking of them, though they could not seem that didn't seem to come with them. That item being the only one that was left behind, though. When the party had used it on themselves, had found out some major intrigue about what their characters' futures held, and that Ida really did not think much of himself. Um, but as the parties would manage, or as the party would manage to deal with Grandpa and find out a bit more information, they would find themselves heading to Shaw to deal with the situation of meeting him, or seeing him and collecting a book. With the help of a creature named Guide, they managed to, on the second try, get the book they needed and collected with what and get the hell out before anything went south. The party, though having a few worries, would come back, giving their brief explanation to Ella Ugbo, and then returning to their bodies. Ned finding himself waking up in the in Frungus's lap, as as Frungus and Sprungus hang out in front of his tavern, staring off into the streets as people go by. We return back to the city. Yeah, I remember. We returned back to the city of King's End, with the party having started to wake up. Your minds beginning to clear as you feel yourselves, your hands tied behind your backs, Kaz, Eider, and Dom. Ned nowhere to be seen, and you all in what looks to be a very darkened room. As you look about, seeing a couple of shelves with jars full of weird objects and fleshy creations is what the best you can come to. As you see strange bits of flesh stitched together in weird ways, kind of tossed about and floating suspendedly. Off to your left is a long, what looks to be table with some wheels underneath it, and a corpse laying on top of it. That, after a moment of adjusting your eyes to the darkened room, you realize is Absalon, the father of Domnander. As you look around the rest of this closet, though, it doesn't look to be much else besides a broom and a bucket kind of just pushed into a corner. The door itself exiting out looking to be just a simple wood door. You all can hear on the other side the mad ravings of an individual as you hear, or as they continue in common, going, "This wasn't supposed to happen. I was supposed to let them go, and then you were supposed to make the deal with me. You said if I got them here and sent them to Abaddon, you would deal with Shaw. Why am I now dealing with this? Why are they attacking me? We had a deal. You dead gods never keep your deals." And he seems to continue to rave on and on about how this death god does not seem to be willing to keep their end of the bargain as you hear this. Taking a moment to take this in, what would you all like to do?
It's like how bound are we? So you specifically mentioned like hands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just your hands are tied behind your back, and not as you kind of squirm your hands about. It seems quite loose, surprisingly.
Okay. Probably take a moment, charge up like a spellfire, and just like burn through the rope.
Okay.
And then try and my plan is to free the rest of my companions as well.
Question: didn't last session wasn't Ned teleported to where we were?
Yes, and then I had something corrected in the background for a reason. So
all right, heard. Okay. Yeah. Anything? I'll just try to either wait for Ada or just silently try to, get out of my my binds.
Can we do like sleight of hand or something like that?
Yeah, everyone go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check. Other than Eider, who's going to burn his real quick. Yes.
If I have claws, would that give me advantage? Or no? Just still normal sleight of hand?
Still sleight of hand in this case.
Cool.
Claws, unfortunately, do not cut rope unless they are somehow metallic or sharp as hell. Actually, I don't even know if cat's claws can cut rope these days.
They're pointy, not exactly a slash.
Yeah.
Not like,
They tear more
You can pierce through rope. It's not good. You can still do it.
Puss in Boots has lied to me.
They generally use rope to sharpen their claws, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
That's not true.
That is a 16 sleight of hand.
Oh,
okay.
That is the wrong number. I got an 18.
18? As the two of you manage to kind of move your hands about a little bit, pulling as much as you can and trying at every angle, the rope seems to loosen quite quickly. And as you feel the rope loosen, and Eider seems to kind of look about you, seeing a little flash of fire from his behind his back as the ropes begin to burn and the smell can be kind of caught. Immediately as the ropes drop to the ground, above you a loud alarm-like sound begins to blare, and you hear on the other side Lagroza go, "God, of course they're awake now. You said your follower wouldn't wake up." As you suddenly hear a smacking of heavy wood and movement as the creature or the individual seems to start walking over towards the door. As he does so, we're going to take a moment to step away from you lot as you begin to hear this. Ned, as you begin to flutter awake, for a moment, you feel yourself underneath, with something underneath you being quite warm and hard as you're kind of laying on it. And as you start to kind of your eyes start to really grasp what's around you, looking up, you realize your head is in the lap of Frungus as you look up at this elven face looking down at you. And almost immediately as you begin to feel that all your emotions kind of coming together, or the heat to your cheeks, you immediately find yourself almost a flash of light as you vanish and find yourself now laying in a very heavy or thick mud. Feels like a pathway underneath you. As you look over to your side, now see a couple of unmarked gravestones and an open, what looks to be an open cellar door.
I will go towards the cellar door.
Okay. As you kind of roll over onto your belly, your stomach, and kind of start to crawl over towards the cellar door, you begin to hear the sounds of a individual go. And now I've got to kill them and destroy this entire church. As something slams as the wood or as a wooden door smacks open. Everyone, give me an initiative roll.
Oh boy.
It's fighting
also-
time.
Yes.
Question:
Mm-hmm.
Is it like a hatch kind of door that goes down to like a ladder cellar, or is it like stairs?
It's like stairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's see.
shit.
Yes.
My dice! Oh, I just had a dice go
My
flying.
brand.
My boy! Father, help!
Mother help.
God damn it.
Ain't your father, but you can call me daddy.
No.
I was gonna ask if I could do something before initiative, but with
Oh.
an 8, never mind.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna, since I heard him talking about killing somebody, I was just gonna blast through the door, but I
Oh,
don't
okay.
feel worthy at this point.
I will say the door is open. The cellar doors are like open, so you can see down into the thing, somewhat. So, here, let me see. And then for this individual, oh wow, that's a -1. Fuck me.
Fuck that person in particular.
17 for Dom, 8 for Ned, 8 for Kez. Oh no, and 20 for Eider. It's not good when
Guys?
your your
Guys?
slowest member is the fastest.
This is the fight to avenge my father. Could we maybe a little better?
Listen,
Change
you know,
starts
it
with you,
was,
Dom.
I'll get there when I get there.
you know, it was a rough time in Abaddon. Give us a fucking break, okay?
It's
Hey, I
it's
was
been a
there
long
too,
swing. Yeah,
technically.
there's a lot going on. Ned, what's your bonus to your dex? What's your mod?
I think it's a +1.
Kez, what's your mod to your dex?
Dex +1, yeah.
Okay.
My dexterity is a +2.
Okay, cool. So Kez goes first. Alright, don't worry. I rolled really bad in one of those initiatives, so you don't have to feel bad. As the door slams open in front of you three, as the ropes hit the ground, the alarm spell goes off and begins to blare out. The door comes slamming with a hard smack as it seems to almost impact into the wood, holding itself as it doesn't seem to bounce back off. The large koboldkin completely shrouded over in what looks to be, as you see, a blackened skin-like cloak that seems to be having burnt ends on it, kind of covering every bit of his features. A slight skull, what looks to be a kobold-like skull, covering a bit of his forward nose that sticks out from behind the hood. His staff, a solid, what looks to be iron metal staff with bits of bone hanging off of the sides that seem to kind of jingle against the staff itself. As the individual looks over at you, Eider, you stand about 20 feet away into this closet. As you look over at him, the room's about 15 feet wide, and you do have just about 5 feet of room to get around your two companions, who are to your right.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna walk up and attempt to smack him real fast.
Alright.
To at least get his attention. Figure it'll give the others. Yeah. At the very least, I'm like in the way if he like wants to cast some bullshit.
Okay, let's see what you got.
Let's see, max package is. Oh shit! Right. Sorry, I need to roll for knowledge devotion real fast. I know he's a kobold, but he's like dragonkin.
Yes.
So it's like Arcana or local.
What are you trying to figure out exactly?
For knowledge devotion goes off of like the creature type. To give like a combat bonus basically. It's just to like what I like. It's like a rough synopsis of like whatever the fuck I can think of to fight them better. It's one of my feats.
I'll take either. You'll get a different answer, but they'll both still fall to a benefit.
Okay, cool. It's just based off of what the result of the check I get. So I was just double checking if one was more appropriate than the other.
Jesus
all right.
Christ.
So I think that gives me a +5. Let me double check.
Yeah. I will note firstly, that one of the immediate things you catch is that this individual is not wearing any armor, and his scales, as you also notice, compared to the other kobolds you've seen walking, the other kobold kin you've seen walking around town, are also quite thin. Looking and very almost malnourished, as if this individual is not eating properly or their body is starting to decay, catching your attention. But yeah, go ahead and add your bonus.
Awesome.
+4 bonus. Okay, got you.
Yeah. Very potent for, low level combat buff. What is it? 22.
22 to hit. Give me a second. That just barely hits.
Hooray! I kind of walk forward, pull out the axe that has hitherto been getting just a stack of enchantments put on it.
Oh no.
And wind up and kind of clock him across the midsection for 11 points total of damage.
As you smack him in the gut, you watch as he kind of leans almost immediately, kind of coughing up as he does so. He kind of looks at you in the eye now, his eyes glowing a bright green with what looks to be this black aura kind of coming off of them like a smoke. Little what looks to be like souls kind of flaring out of his eyes as he stares at you. And then he grins a toothy grin as you see the yellow rotted teeth in his mouth. Alright, that's about 20 feet of movement up, so anything else, and then plus your attack, is there anything else you want to do?
Nope, that would be all of what I've got going on right now, as far as actions I can take.
Alright. Well, you were smart to come up and smack a guy who can cast to keep him from doing anything. Your only unfortunate thing is as he taps his staff onto the ground, you watch as it morphs into a blue metallic longsword that glimmers in the light of the fire or fiery torches all around the room behind him, and he is going to turn and take a swing at you.
Quick question, because kobolds are a lot more draconic in your world. Does my dodge bonus versus dragons apply against
Yes,
him?
because he is dragonkin, so he's still technically draconic by nature.
Okay, cool.
Koboldkin is just a general term for anybody born from a dragon egg that's not a dragon.
Gotcha.
So, that's an 18 to hit.
Nope.
As the sword slams down, as he, with all of his might, roars down, slamming it onto your armor, it dinks off, and as his arms go back, recoiling back, a glimmer of surprise as his mouth just hangs open and looks at you as if this was not expecting to happen. What was that?
What the fuck was that?
I just flash him a grin. It's we clawed our way back from Abaddon. You were expecting us to be pushovers?
He glares down and is going to take a second swing.
Got me.
That was Ned. That's a 12. As the second one comes, he goes as he kind of swings back like a baseball bat and comes down towards your head, thinking that he's gonna take it clean off with all of the force as it slams against the metal of the side of your helmet, not even causing your head to slightly move. As the metal and his sword starts to kind of ring and jiggle, you see his hand and his body begin to slightly shake as the reverberation goes through, and he just stares at you just in disbelief. Ending his turn. Alright. Dom, you are up.
Okay. How far is the figure from me currently?
With Kez kind of in between you and Eider when you guys were sitting here, the figure in the doorway with Eider kind of standing right in front of him is roughly about, let me make sure my math here, that would put him about 10 feet from you in total, if for hitting range, if you have a 5 foot reach.
I I can hit him from here, which is great news for me.
Oh, no.
Gosh, what do I want to start with? I've been looking at all of my stuff, and I don't know what thematically is the most fun to start with. I think I need to double check something about Flurry of Blows real quick before I declare what I'm going to declare. Okay. Question to the DM and also Levidos. If I did Flurry of Blows, can I use one of the 2 attacks I get as a trip attack, or are those separate actions?
Those are separate. Flurry of Blows is its own thing. You just keep hitting as if you were doing a normal attack. Because it's a Flurry of Blows specifically specifies unarmed strikes.
I think you can. Well, you can with Grapple or Sunder. Trip, I'm not
I was gonna say, I know Trip's different. And then...
You can as an unarmed attack.
Can
yeah, and I don't provoke an opportunity for those because I'm a monk, so...
You still need improved Trip to not provoke, but he doesn't have the reach to try and attack for opportunity.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Oh, he doesn't have the reach for attack of opportunity. Okay, that changes things.
Yeah.
Okay, then I would like to try to do a disarm attack then, because I can reach.
Okay.
From here. I want to take his cool staff. I believe because I technically am unarmed, I get a -4, but because I'm large, and there's a size category difference, I get a +4. So I basically just get my normal attack bonus.
Get rid of that blue greatsword of his.
I don't think you get a -4 for being unarmed.
I think it says for disarm, if I have a light weapon, which I'm unarmed strike is considered a light weapon. Because I don't have a greater or approved disarm or whatever it is.
No, the wielder of the weapon.
Sorry.
You're not the wielder.
The wielder. Oh, so I just get a +4 for being large?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right now it's a long... Well, right now I think it's like ensorcelled to still be a longsword, so it's neither two-handed nor light, so it's just flat.
Correct.
And
it's
I mean,
medium, so...
He is actively wielding the staff, right? Because I think if I went for the greatsword, it would be different.
No, the longsword is the staff turned into the longsword. That's what he just transformed it.
Oh.
So that's what you're taking.
Sorry. Didn't clock that those were the same item. Yes, so I'm taking the greatsword. So he would, if it's a two-handed weapon, he gets a +4 bonus on his counter roll, I believe.
All right.
So, let me roll. Ooh, okay. Good roll. So +4 to that, which is that, and then I need to find my So that's okay.
I'm just checking
27.
My bonus. Yep, no worries. One sec.
If I did my math correct. Let me check that the gauntlets don't add anything else. Because I think they just do damage. Yeah.
That's a 6.
So, Dom, yoinks. I believe I just yoinked that bitch.
As you take the staff out of his hand, grabbing hold of the blade overhead of Eider, as you grab hold of it, give me a will save.
Okay. Is this against hang on, what magical effects do I get a bonus to saves? I think it's enchantment or something like that.
This is not enchantment.
Okay, not enchantment. So I don't get the bonus. Yada yada. Alright. That completely flew out of the box and knocked other dice off the table. Wonderful. Ooh, okay. Plus my will, which is a +7, so that'll be a 26.
You succeed for now. Dom, your mind begins to feel clouded. You lose well, here, actually, let me roll, because it is a roll. You lose 9 points to your intelligence, temporarily.
To my intelligence?
Yes. As you take hold of this sword, it turns immediately back into a staff. And Dom's mind begins to cloud over. Thankfully, you succeeded.
I think.
Yeah, it is penalty, technically. You are correct.
Okay. Oh, okay. I was subtracting from my intelligence score and figuring out how that would screw me over. Okay. So
No, it just
minus
means that you
8
can't. It just means you
penalty
can't
then.
be reduced to 0. Is basically the idea.
Okay.
It also ends like immediately whenever like the effect ends, instead of having to do like a day per like point recovery.
But as you take hold of the sword in your hand, standing there, you feel your brain become foggier and foggier as you look on. Everything becomes harder to kind of piece together, but you know you're still this understanding of beating and killing this individual still stands in your mind. I need a second will save actually because of the fact that this staff, as your belt starts to glow because of this.
No.
Oh man.
This is the bad side.
I hope my belt eats it. Let's see.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Dom, do not
I
embrace the Unga.
don't think I have anything that can help because evasion only works on reflex and not wisdom. So, this is fun. That is a. Let me double check my will save. So that should be. I believe that's 24.
Well, I'm gonna message you something real quick, Dom.
Guys, I've been getting really good rolls. If this staff makes me turn against you guys, I fear for you. I've been getting
It's 11.
15 and higher. This is not a good sign. Something's gonna happen.
Well, the upside is you're not proficient with longswords, so that's a little bit.
So
of a help.
penalty, does penalty just mean like my rolls and saves get that, or penalty is into the score itself?
Score itself.
Just, then I'm at like 5 intelligence right now, guys. I only have a 13. I took like a 9.
Ah, shit, you're only
I'm
slightly
not-
below Frost Giant now.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen, you're
yeah.
closer to what you were raised as.
Do not go willingly into
Oh.
that quiet night, my son.
As the rest of you see, well, as Ider's facing off at this individual in the doorway, kind of focused in on him. Kez, as you're on the side there, and Ned, as you can start to see something slightly from where you're or where you're kind of looking into the this down basement, a blackened light begins to glow around Dom that seems to cause all the torchlights to go this almost purplish coloration inside the basement, causing the lights to go from this orange to full almost creepy or a creepy vibe amongst the room as it becomes deathly silent almost everywhere. All the little bits of noise a moment ago you had heard kind of vanishing as Dom begins to glow this dark coloration.
I wonder if that's what we were warned about.
Alright. As Dom, you've got the weapon in hand. You haven't moved. Would you like to do anything else?
I haven't moved. I'm double checking something. What you sent me means I might have to change my course of action.
Am I about to get donkey punched?
I mean, Kaz is technically closer as far as
You don't want this
allies
smoke.
go. Do I? Okay. So
I'll
I
hit you
have
with all
the
the ice spells
sword.
I have.
I can't use the sword well. I don't. Just you can only. What is? How does sundering
-4.
work if you have a weapon? You can only do that against weapons you aren't holding, correct?
Yeah, you can sunder someone else's weapon. You can try and break this weapon. However, as to note, you know enough about magic item crafting to know that magic items are very hard to break.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible. So I think Dom like takes it from him, like reaching out with just this fury, because again, he's witnessed his father's corpse. He knows what's happening here. He overheard some kind of deal. He's just angry and lunges out and grabs and takes the sword and loses his intelligence. So now he's feral, and you kind of see it in the way he shifts into something less fire giant and more bestial. His eyes into slits. His hands naturally curl to show off the claws he holds. And I think I will just take a swing on this guy. And specifically, I want to take a weakening arm attack. Just to announce, like, to call it that I'm using the ability.
Okay.
I didn't know that Dom was a druid.
No.
Guys, this will be fun. So, that is a 20 to hit.
20 does not hit.
Okay. If it misses, it doesn't count per use. I don't have anything I can add to that shit, huh? That kind of sucks. Or wait. Nah, I didn't declare Flurry of Blows, so I couldn't do that now. I just forgot I took another action.
As your punch goes wide, the creature kind of the individual staring at his staff still in your hand or his sword in your other hand, and just ducks and dodges out of the way of your punches, and pushing down onto Eider's head to move himself around a little bit more comfortably.
I like to think Dom, just in his like bestial state, aims a punch and like ends up bumping into Kez, who's in the way, and it like just he throws him off enough he narrowly misses. That I also declare my evasion dodge bonus, which is just a free thing, and that will be the end of my turn. I do not currently drop the staff.
All right, then to the half of the initiative that didn't make it above 10, starting with Kez.
Woo! Yeah! That's what I've been waiting for!
Minimum range. You got this.
Yeah! Alright, so, because I always forget... yeah, go ahead, finish what you were saying first.
I was going to say, he is 15 feet away from you for distance, just to keep in mind.
Alright, that's the first question.
So, if you want to get within 5 feet reach, you'll have to move up 15 feet. Eider is technically 10 feet to your right and in front of you, standing in the doorway, kind of halfway blocking the doorway, though again, he is short, and this is a building built for giants, so this is a large doorway that you can see through. The rest of the room doesn't look to have much else in it. Like I mentioned earlier, there is a singular body on a table in one corner of it. The rest of the few things are just what looks to be objects in jars. Any questions?
Not about anything you said. However, because I keep forgetting about with your campaigns, because when you don't move, you get another attack action, but that means I could also use another leveled spell, right?
Correct, yeah.
Alright, cool. That's all I needed to know. I keep forgetting that one rule, and for some reason I'll just never remember. Mm-hmm. So, first off, I will cast Animalistic Power on my dear friend Domnander, subjecting him to a +2 bonus to Strength, Dex, and Con.
Dom, as you feel your body begin to expand, the muscles growing out, your body getting wider and stronger and lighter.
And please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the +2 is to the modifier, not the actual number? Or, I don't know.
That's what I was going to ask.
What's the spell name?
Animalistic Power.
2 seconds.
Because it just says subject gains a +2 bonus, so I don't know if it's like the actual modifier or if it's the number.
Oh, it's to the stat.
Oh, it's just to the stat, not the modifier? Okay. So it's essentially a +1.
He's got a +1.
Yep.
Alright, cool.
So +2 to all those stats, then?
Yes.
Physical stats,
temporarily.
Yes, it lasts for,
hell yeah.
what, 5 minutes?
I believe so, something like... I think it's based on your casting level. Okay.
And then... I will cast Baylor Nimbus upon myself.
Ooh, okay. What does that do?
I essentially ignite in flames. That don't hurt me or any equipment that I carry.
As you begin to ingrain in a flame, your body beginning to ignite all around you, you begin to cause the room to glow as it does. Are they actual flames or...?
So it just says, so like the legendary Baylor, your body bursts into lurid flames. The flames do not harm you or any equipment you carry or wear. However, each round, the flames deal 6d6 points of fire damage to any creature grappling you or any creature you grapple on your turn.
So, okay. Interesting, it doesn't catch objects on fire. Okay.
So I'm definitely do the flames that come off of me, are they affected by Dom's little funky? Am I expressing purple flames right now, or is it still like red flames?
It seems to be just normal red flames from what you can tell for you.
Crazy. And just for a little bit of flavor to express my storm giant heritage, I'm like, a little crackling of lightning happens here or there, occasionally.
As you ignite yourself with the spell standing in front, the druid looks unimpressed as it stares still at its staff being held by Domnander.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's only a level 2 cleric spell.
All right, does that end your turn, Kaz?
Yep, that's it for me.
Okay. Ned, you are up as you stand about 60 feet back from where this individual is standing, seeing a little bit of their back as you kind of can peek down, laying on your stomach, still prone in the dirt, looking into the cellar right now. What would you like to do?
Okay, so you said it's about 60 feet down?
Yep, 60 feet crossed from you. It's about a 20-foot down drop, basically.
Okay. I would like to get up and move. Let me see. Move about 15 feet back. So a little bit away from the steps.
Okay.
And then I would like to take my wooden shield, hold it like chest, stomach level, and take off towards the stairs and penguin slide down that bitch.
All right, give me a jump check to see how far you get, and fucking let's see this. All right. That was not what I was expecting.
See how fast I can make it.
All right.
I don't think I get a bonus to jump, but just making sure. No. Okay.
Please no dick handling of your father or the druid. That is not okay, Chad.
The druid.
Oh, that is a 9.
Allowed.
Okay. As you go flying over towards or kind of running towards the stairs, shield underneath, ready to go sledding down. The shield hits immediately as you kind of make it about about 5 feet down the stairs before it catches and starts sliding you down. As the shield kind of comes to a stop, you drag about 30 feet into the room and come dead center in the room. Looking around, it looks like a lot of the furniture and like shelves and tables have been pushed off to the sides, leaving the entire room almost open. However, as you look over where the figure stands, about 10 feet to your right and its right, looks to be a crude-looking statue of a strange object covered in mixes of mud and dirt and bone and viscera. That's kind of just shoved together in a strange formation. But as you look over for a second, the druid has yet to notice you as you kind of stand up, putting your shield, I assume, back on your back.
Well, I'll hold it out with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
And was getting up considered an action?
No, in this case I'll say I think that's fair.
Okay. First question out of curiosity, is my spear glowing from any of these people?
It is.
So somebody is a necromancer.
Correct.
Not exactly surprised, but I have an idea. Let's. Forgot to pull up the spell list.
No worries, I do it all the time.
When life gets you down.
And there's no one around. Just wait for the DM to smack you.
Something like that. I take a look at my enormous penis.
And there goes all our chance at YouTube.
We gotta roll for size, guys.
We were never gonna be monetized in the first place.
Not with that
roll
attitude.
a d12.
Alright, Kaz,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing what I'm doing on Monday. Every time that I get stricken on YouTube for you, I'm gonna add one more CR17 monster I'll randomly throw at you.
Listen, that's not gonna get us a strike.
You're right, and so when it does happen, I'm gonna flip a coin, and it'll decide who gets the CR17 monsters we've got for Monday, randomly set up. Currently, we're at the count of 6.
You know what?
Okay.
Reasonable and fair.
All right, what you got, Ned?
So, all of a sudden, everybody from the other room would start hearing Ned's stomach start making a bunch of gurgling noises, a little bit of discomfort. And he would turn and let out a very large belch at the druid in the doorway. I need a fortitude save.
Is this poison by chance?
I do not believe so.
Okay.
What spell is it?
Rod of Ages.
Oh, okay. That's an 11.
Okay, that will fail. So the druid is sickened for 2 rounds, and all other creatures are treated as having concealment against the target.
Oh, shit. Okay. Wait, sickened. Oh, wait, hold up.
-2.
If it's
sickened
if it
is
is
a condition.
non-living, then it's unaffected.
No, he is living. I can confirm that. I hadn't seen sickened before, at least not off the top of my head, so I was taking a look at what it was. Okay.
Second is a fun condition.
-2 to attack skill checks, basically.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just pulling up my note
After
for
the
it, yep.
very loud belch, Ned will just be like, "Oh, excuse me."
Hey, buddy.
As you belch out, it echoes through the entire halls as the creature seems almost disgusted by it as it looks back and grimaces at you. It says something strange in abyssal as it does, and as the creature speaks this, it turns back to the rest of the party in the closet and begins to stare them down. But Ned, is there anything else you'd like to do?
That would be my turn.
Okay. Good news, Kez.
Huh.
You're about to get to use that grapple. Bad news, Kez. You're about to get killed by Domnander. As you kind of stand looking over at the court or the individual standing in the doorway, you looking off to the corner of your eye, the cadaver on the table begins to stir and move, and as it begins to kind of sit up and look at you, its eyes kind of lazing as it does. The creature's body kind of slouching and moving almost unnaturally. It stares at you, and you hear Kez as it makes a guttural sound of help, and it goes to attack you, immediately activating its first spell. I'm checking something just to make sure. I need a fortitude. Oh, never mind. I need to make an attack on you, Kez.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, there were creatures behind us? What?
No, the cadaver on the table that was sitting in the room.
Got it.
Dead dad has come back to life.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's him, but it's certainly his body.
Does a 5 hit your touch?
My touch? No, thank God.
Surprisingly, even that does not.
Does a 12 hit your touch?
It meets.
Alright, it does not. As the creature tries to grab at you, both times grabbing hold as you kind of lightly push its hands away, feeling the cold magic kind of grasping at you. I believe as your weapon begins to glow, Kez.
My shield begins
Your
to glow.
shield begins to glow. The creature, having not moved, ends its turn. As that's 2 of its spells. And then as the 2 creatures from above, as Ned, you look up into the rafters, you see 2 small bony creatures pull off from either side of one of the beams in the ceiling, kind of keeping the church above held up. 2 bony little bats come crawling out from the upper side of it and begin to flutter down towards you to take a bite.
Oh, great.
Don't worry, it's only 4 attacks, I promise. I hate to give you
Those all miss.
those all miss?
Homework.
All miss.
Alright.
Unless it's punch.
No, sadly, those are all melee attacks.
Okay.
I would say it's like his AC is not 13.
What's up?
I was gonna say it's like I'm pretty sure he's got a
Oh.
better AC than 13.
As the bats try and bite away at you, Ned, though, as you kind of swat at them with your staff every time they get close, they seem to put little bite marks into your signed quarterstaff by the anvil himself, as they try and bite a hold of it and flutter away above you. They flutter up 10 feet above you and stay right there.
They would still provoke.
Oh, sorry, 5 feet. What?
They're small enough that they have to enter square to attack, so they would provoke. He only gets like one of the attacks of opportunity, but theoretically he does get an attack of opportunity.
Please show me where it states in the rules that if a monster enters your space, that's an attack of opportunity. I believe it's only if you exit.
No, it's when you enter a monster space. One second, I can pull it up for you.
Yes, but he's not in... What?
One second. I can pull that up for you real fast.
Alright, we will pause the recording real quick. Give me a moment. Go. Alright. As the bone bats flutter above you, Ned, they end their turn after you swat them away. Back up to the top of the initiative. Eider. As you stand staring at Lagrosa, looking him in the eyes at this point, as the creature seems to still be staring down at you defiantly and angrily, what would you like to do?
Well, it is time to do my best approximation of an ass beating symposium and give him a little bit of a lesson.
Oh no.
So we're just going to smack him twice. Okay, we're going to smack him once, maybe.
You once, okay. That hits, Jesus, yeah.
Oh, wait, no, it's a... Wait,
19? Do you crit on
19.
Does your weapon crit on 19?
I don't think so. Dwarven War Axe, I think, is...
I think it's a
20 crit.
20, yeah. I think there's only scimitars and a few other items that got it, so... Unless you have one of the feats specifically for the improved critical.
Oh, no, scimitars are 18 to 20.
Oh.
Swords are 19 to 20, like most swords and daggers. But no, I don't crit on it, but I do at least get the damage.
Let's see what you got. As you slam into his face as hard as you can, slugging him with the axe, you watch as the blade kind of impacting onto the side of its face leaves a nice gash as the creature's jaw slightly hangs ajar when it recoils back. The creature or the individual looks looking down at you as it seems to try and open its mouth as it kind of the front of its mouth begins to loll to the side, the tongue even slightly split. This is against the druid, for reference. As the druid stares down at you, it seems to try and speak, though, and mumbles a couple of gurgled, bloody words, glaring at you, Eider, as your second strike goes wide, or rather, your first strike goes wide. Alright. Is there anything else you'd like to do? Go ahead.
I was like, later, I was like, sorry, I didn't catch that.
You turn your ear towards him a little bit and say this. Well, it seems to gurgle a little louder. A little blood drips onto the ground as he seems to spurt out.
All I'm hearing is hit me harder. I'm sorry.
As the burp cloud still swarms his face.
Yes, as he is still sickened. Is that a save each round, or is it just for certain levels?
It's just 2 rounds sickened, and then the everybody's concealed.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Does a 12 beat his flat-footed AC? Because if I have concealment, then he
It does
loses his
not.
dex bonus. Okay.
Yeah.
That's worth a shot.
Good shot. Yeah, good question, actually, though. Yeah, because I had actually forgotten about that for the concealment part. Thank you. He, as far as it goes, as you go to swing at him, the creature seems to just look almost, still a bit of irritation as it continues to try and speak. Alright, as it starts its turn, shit, all of my spells are vocal fuck!
You know what? I was gonna be like, what if I can cast silence?
Alright, well, I didn't want to have to use this already, but we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this the hard way. Alright. He is going to go ahead and take out his sigil as you see a two little metal skulls that are both a little bit different coloration of almost this like coppery orange, while the other one is a more brown bronze-like coloration. The two skulls seem to glow for a minute as he begins to say a prayer in primordial, or yeah.
Is he casting a spell?
He is not. And he is going to, as he does this, double checking something. He is going to begin to transform. His body begins to expand. His body begins to lengthen out. You see as he goes from this almost 5 foot tall figure to kind of growing to 10 feet tall as you can hear his spine cracking and pulling up his body, his arms pulling out further and wider as they begin to almost take up the shape of the doorway. The sounds of the muscles tearing and rebuilding as it does. You hear as he begins to turn and transform into almost this small dragon form, what looks to be adult-like black dragon, and stares at you as he roars down Eider. And unfortunately,
What's up with our luck and dragons?
Well, hey, Eider's got some.
Wait, is this the guy?
Kit.
This isn't the. Was the guy we fought last time a black dragon as well?
No, he was
No.
a rolling dragon.
Yeah, use a special cookie.
He is going to swipe down at you, Eider, and try to slash you.
The luck that we've had with kobolds turning into dragons.
Big
It's
thing.
not
It's because
0.
we're giants.
That's a 36 to hit.
Well, that hits, but he has to roll his mischance.
That's right, because you are in concealment. And it's full concealment, which I believe is 80%, so that would be...
It's 50%.
Is it 50%? Okay. Alright. Well, that's below 50, so that is a fail. As he goes to swing at you with his claw, the claw seems to... where the creature expects you to have grown with its height, it almost swings in front of it, roughly at the same rank of where you were a moment ago in comparison. As it swings over you, clearly by a few feet, Eider, you feel the wind kind of lightly gusting across the side of your face through your helmet as the creature roars out in irritation, ending its turn. All right, Dom.
Just go, you're welcome.
Ned shouts this out quickly. Dom,
All right.
this anger continues. Give me another will save at the start of your turn.
Yep. Was waiting for it. Oh, it was almost a nat 20 and then it rolled off it. Hey, great news. It's a 9. I'm back. Back to my normal rolls.
Dom, it's a dragon.
Rolled really bad.
This is even worse. They're literally this thing could spat in your face and called you a horrible slur, and you would have been happier. This thing needs to die as your rage begins to induce. You are fully enraged now and can no longer break from it until this creature is dead.
Cool.
As you begin to be
plan?
enveloped
Can't
in
wait.
a black-like fire that begins to glow around you, not dissimilar to what Kaz is going through on the side.
Eat the drag. I mean,
All right.
let me see.
What
Let
would you
me
like to
see
do, Dom?
what I want to do here.
Use
It's
those
still 10
bonuses
feet
for your
away,
benefit.
correct?
Correct. It has not moved. It's still in the doorway.
Perfect. I would like to, let me double check the wording on an ability first before I, okay, so first attack, I'm gonna try that, weakening touch again, just to see if I can manage to get that, would be very helpful. Okay, so that, I'm probably gonna miss this. Let me check my bonus though. New bonus is, let's 7, that's like a 15 to hit. That's not gonna do it.
15 does not hit. Oh, well, actually, hold on. Let
Whoosh.
me double check. No, it does not. My apologies.
Okay, and so then my next... So wait, do I want to do this again? Or do I want to... Flurry of blows. I'm gonna just go for a... You know what? No, fuck it. I'm gonna try it again. I really want this to hit.
As you continue to swing over the head of either left and right, let's see what you got as the creature dodges out of the way.
That is going to be a... I don't think anything good. No, that's just a 17 now.
17, as you go to swing once again, your fist pounding into the stomach of this creature's scales. However, each hit, every time you hit, it feels like you're just pinching solid iron as your fists bounce off and recoil away from the scales of the dragon, as it seems completely unconcerned or bothered.
I think Dom's like swiping. He's not finding purchase. He's not in his rhythm. He's just angry, and he's going to, in Draconic, look down at this thing because I'm still taller than it. With my eyes dark and the shadowy energy around me, just say, "When I get you, you're fucking dead," and lets out a bit of this like in giant snarling sound. And I guess I will end my turn.
Okay. As you end your turn, Kez, you are up. As you look over to the left, seeing this corpse kind of just sitting upright on this table, casting magic towards you at will. As you feel the spells hitting you, but not going off. As to your right, you see the dragon getting punched left and right by Dom, not finding any purchase, while Eider is continuously smacking into the creature and taking damage to it left and right.
How is Dom's dad within striking distance from me, or do I have to move?
Dom, yes, he is. What's your 10
feet?
10 feet. He is within striking distance. Yeah.
Alright, cool. So, I'm going to strike him with my Warhammer. Alright.
Let's see what you got.
Let's get this roll done. Alright, let's see here. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 to hit. That hits quite easily as you turn over, your hammer slamming with ease. Go ahead.
So, first off, before I roll actual damage, I need a wisdom saving throw. Sorry, will. My bad. Different system.
Damn. All right, wisdom. Okay, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I need a
7.
We're going back to 5e
All
for
right.
this fight.
So, what's really great about having a disruption on my blunt weapon? The Bane of all undead, any undead creature struck in combat must succeed a DC 14 will save or be destroyed.
You watch as Absalon turns to dust in a single blow as the hammer slams right through the skull, cracking and shredding it apart. Dom, give me a will save.
Oh no.
As Kez looks over and just sees Dom's eyes locked on the dust.
I want to say to the party, Dom is aware that's just his dad's corpse. However, there's a magical effect in play, so this is out of my hands.
Once again, I'm fighting a dragon, so I don't know.
I'm just doing my job.
That is a 24. Wisdom save. Will
there you go.
Save. I see. Noted.
Okay. All right, guys. I did my job. I do good, right?
Kez turns back, a proud smile on his face.
All right,
give
one
me a
down.
high five.
I just killed your dad again. Woo! I put him to rest.
Kez, charge me up, please.
Kez, what else would you like to do?
I would like to move to where Eider is, and my turn.
Okay. As you kind of move up the extra 10 feet and stand next to Eider, the dragon kind of eyes you as you get closer and begins to kind of like stare at you down. The glow around its eyes kind of still emitting these strange little small like blackened souls coming off of it. All right.
Rock and roll.
Ned, you're up. What would you like to do as you have these two little bats floating above your head? And by little, I do mean medium.
I have been thinking about this for a whole round.
Oh.
I think I know my move. You just make sure I got the right thing here. Glad I double checked because I think I was looking at the wrong level.
Never hurts to double check something.
Still think I have a plan, but
Suddenly a new plan is needed. Might be needed. Give it a minute.
Ned will throw his staff up in the air in his left hand and just, nature, give me your help. And I will use a 2nd level spell slot to cast Summon Nature's Ally 2. I'm going to summon a Dire Bat.
Oh, okay. All right, the Dire Bat will act at the end of your turn.
And I'll just look at it and go, kill those motherfuckers! And then I'm also going to swing my quarterstaff at one.
Okay, let's see what you got.
I love that.
Yes, that's right.
See, in Ned's head, there's a rewards program going on. There's a little ad. He's had a great idea, but he's got to go through the ad process.
Thinks about all the time.
My base attack bonus is a 3. So for the Mastercraft staff, I would have +5 total, right?
If it's masterwork, it's a +1. If it says +2 to it, then you'd have the
+1. Oh, okay.
Yep.
So it would only get an extra. It would just be. Got it.
Yep. Just masterwork is just +1.
Overcomplicating it in my head.
No worries.
16.
16. And that's against the bat. That does hit.
Okay. And not a D65. 5 damage.
5 damage.
That is bludgeoning.
Okay. As you slam into one of the bats, the creature kind of going flying into or in the air away from you as it does, smacking into one of the wooden beams. The creature kind of shakes its head for a minute, the skull slightly cracked, and looks back at you as it kind of flutters back over after you.
Okay. I casted a spell and I attacked, so that was both my actions.
All right, and then for the bat.
The bat, looks like it only gets 1 attack.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna fly over and try to bite the one that I just hit.
Okay. Let's see what you got. Is that a 5 to hit? Oh no, okay.
Due to class ignorance, I'll just ask. I don't add anything extra for my summon stuff, right?
No, not to your
Just
attacks
off
or anything.
what the sheet itself says.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nat 20 for a 25.
Roll to confirm.
The fucking bat crits.
Of course, the bat crits always.
Roll it just the same, right?
Yep. All right. Nope. So it does not confirm the crit, but you do still hit. Because remember, you have to roll 2 20s in a row to get the actual crit damage.
Well, isn't Isn't it the second time has to hit its armor class to get the damage?
Correct.
Yes. And that's why I stated no, because it's an 11.
Oh, okay, yeah. Gotcha.
So
regular
unfortunately, yep, this is just a success.
Cool. Okay.
Hey, you hit.
I mean,
That's
it
the
still
important part.
does pretty good. So
Hey, critical success is still a critical success. 6 points.
I rolled like shit.
Yeah, you rolled half. Admit, it's all right. As you
Well, the bat's
slam.
not moving, so it can bite again, right?
Yes, in technicality. If it's as far as it goes.
I will go ahead and it'll bite a second time as long as it's alive.
As the bat bites in and tears into the skull, tearing at it, leaves little cracks into it as you hear the crunching of the bone. The bat's little half of its skull kind of falling away onto the ground as the living summons continues to tear at it. Go ahead and roll for it.
Oh.
He did summon a bigger, better bat. This is fucking
7.
Pokemon. To hit.
Yeah.
This is the
Sadly,
next
that does
evolution.
not hit. Yeah, as you yell, bite once more, like a true Pokemon battle.
And that is the bat's turn.
The bat tears into the creature. However, the bone bat seems to manage to move its head out of the way this time, avoiding its mouth, like a Golbat versus a Zubat situation. All right. As you end the bat's turn, or as the bat ends its turn, continuing to flutter about. Well, Absalon is dead. Let's roll for his thing. Good news, Keznuk.
Does he come back?
Motherfucker, we ain't done. Round 2!
God damn it!
To be fair, he
As
does
the
seem to be
dust
cursed or something.
reforms and he comes back at full mighty HP.
Man,
However,
Dom,
that
what
does
the
end
fuck?
his turn
That's my
as he can't attack after forming together. He is still sitting on the table and just as you hear the bones crack as the neck turns towards you and the very light sounds of like something trying to breathe in heavily or quickly. Kez, as you look over, the creature stares at you once again and just slowly brings up its one arm and a middle finger extends.
I'm both mad at and amused.
Alright, as it ends its turn, the bone bats are up. They are both seeing this bat as the greater danger, going to swoop and try and attack it. That is 16, 23, 15, and 11 to hit.
The 23 hits.
The 23 hits.
Damn, nat 20.
Right.
What's up with the bats?
That is a nat 20. Let's see if I can do it again. No. All right. I assume a 12 does not beat the AC of the bat.
No.
Okay. It was worth a shot. All right. And even with that, I think it's a 15. So okay. Perfect. The bat bites down on the living one, and immediately as it does so, causes 3 piercing damage. However, the bat needs to give me a fortitude save.
All right.
Actually, okay, so this is actually a confirmation. I don't know. I think summon monsters are still affected by this, but are summon monsters counted as immune to paralysis? I don't think they are. Okay, figured as much, because it's like summoning the monster. The only difference is it disappears at the end when the spell ends. Okay, cool. Making sure I was right on that. Alright, cool. Yeah, please give me a fortitude save as for the bat.
Cool.
All right, we need to kill these bats like immediately. Fuck that shit. Oh god.
And unfortunately, that is a fail. So you, the large summoned bat drops to the ground as it was flying a moment ago. And as the paralysis takes hold, it is paralyzed for 5 minutes.
Oh shit.
Oh, these things have a
Damn.
fucking save or die. Jesus Christ.
Yep. Actually, sorry, I actually misrolled that, but we'll keep it. Because technically it's supposed to be 1d6 plus 2, but yeah, that's fine.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's gonna be long to summon by then.
As the creature, or as the bat drops out of the sky, the two bats bone bats continue to flutter about, as they do. As that goes to the top of the initiative, Eider, you're up.
Yeah, this became a bad fucking time. I'm pretty sure that by the end of Ned's round, his like blindness effect goes away. So it's
Actually,
Correct,
this
2
next,
rounds.
yeah, after this round, he is fully no longer messed with.
oh, it's still part. It's still part of this round.
Oh no, let me check. No, it's 2. Never mind.
It's
No, I
up
have it
to
written.
my next turn, right?
Yes, yes, it would be. So yeah, it is up till at Ned's next turn. He is still sickened for this round. That's correct. Making
Cool.
sure I was right.
I'm going to take advantage of the fact that this fucker is blind and enter into his goddamn square.
Oh,
Oh shit.
you want to grapple a dragon?
No, I'm just gonna walk under his square.
All right.
Right, because you're small compared to his large, right? Yeah.
Well, not small size, but I can like enter the same square as him because he is like a larger size category than me, which does
he is
give him
large.
does give me like partial cover against him, and makes it a good amount harder for me to get hit. It's unfortunately like difficult terrain, so I have to use like a whole ass action to do it. But
and quick question, because what was done to make it where he couldn't use any of his vocal stuff?
I just hit him in the face.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I just hit him in the face.
His mouth
Go
gets
for it,
closed.
Joe.
And then I reach into my sack and I activate the status plate to pump 2 spell levels to myself real fast because
As you go to activate the status plate, the status plate does not activate.
damn.
Give me a use magic device, please, instead.
$13.
Okay. Well, the good news is the item does not immediately lose, or its spell does not immediately begin to crack. But as you look down, the status plate spell has not, or doesn't look to have fully rejuvenated, and the status plate itself is currently just a hunk of metal.
Gotcha. Does that waste like the actual action itself?
Nope. I give a free check. I usually give a free roll for that in exchange, so you'll still get another action as far as it goes. I'm not that kind of DM. Don't worry.
It's all good.
Suffering.
All right, time to roll a D100 to see if I can eat my invocation or not. I can. Okay. So I get 2 spell fire levels. So I like kind of like gesture towards myself. Like blue, like kind of little mini draconic like crown appears on my head, and then just gets sucked into my being.
Okay. As you immediately cast off your invocation.
Yeah, it's
Invocation,
a Drip
okay,
of
making
Fire
sure.
Adept invocation.
Gotcha. As it goes off and the spell immediately being absorbed into you, you feel your magic, the spell fire resurge into you as the fire once more is lit. As you do so, I will note that all of the rest of you notice that Lagrosa, the corpse of Absalon, and the bone bats seem to immediately turn their attention towards where Eider stands. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Eider? Yeah.
No, that's my full complement of actions again, as I am now under this fucker's chest. Which, admittedly, he might not know. I don't know. Well, no, I don't feel like trying to roll us move silently. So he knows where the fuck I'm at.
Okay. Lagrosa's up. He is going to cast this on himself. And that okay. You all watch as as the large dragon kind of taps himself on the chest. For a moment, a glimmer of brown coloration, almost like a wooden bark, kind of covers him for a second and then dissipates underneath his scales as he looks about and is going to just be. Thank you.
Should pass pretty easily, but there's a chance that he fails.
I'm just double checking my own stats. Okay. For that.
If he's cocky, he could just say, fuck it, come at me, bro.
That's with his 27.
Yep.
Yeah. And he is going to then, secondly, look down with anger in his eyes where you were a moment ago, and is going to let out his breath as he does. This darkened black mist kind of sprays out underneath him. As the creature does, you smell the scent of acid. Please, Dom, Kez, and Eider, give me reflex saves.
Reflex. That's
Did
my
I manage-
good one.
Because I entered into a square.
Yeah, he's just blowing straight down in front of him. So technically, you're gonna get hit regardless.
Makes sense. You can angle it from any square that you're like exist in.
Yeah, he puts his knife like all the way back and low to the ground, like some weird little like twister type move, and gets all of us.
Honestly.
All right, let's see what you got.
Man, I love having not high reflex.
Is a fail for Eider.
17.
Is a fail for Kez.
Yeah.
I think I'm about to get
Let me
fucking one
double
shot.
check something.
Reflex, my only weakness.
It's only on a success and 3.5. That sucks. That'll just be a 13 for me. I rolled dog shit.
Ouch.
And I used my cool acidy green dice for this, and they failed me. They failed me.
You all take 11 points of acid damage as he breathes down, letting out this large amounts of acid into the into a thick mist all around the air. As it expands out, Absalom automatically fails. Is incinerated once again into dust.
It wasn't me! I didn't do it this time, Dom! It wasn't me!
Okay, you get the strangest feeling. He will be back next round.
Alright, there goes a quarter of my health.
I feel like this man has come to bargain.
Alright.
More Mamu, I have come to bargain.
Alright. And that is his spell and his breath. That ends his round, or his turn. Dom, you are up.
Oh, by the way,
Yes.
what spell did he cast?
Give me a spellcraft check.
Should they? 37.
Yes. I'm gonna message you something really quickly. Go ahead, Dom.
All right. I don't know if my thing is working. I'm gonna give it one last try because I'd like this attack to land. It'd be very good for me. So Dom's once again with this kind of this arm that you can't see because of his clothes, but you see the hand of his dark and the skin is gnarled and it's unnatural seeming, and he's gonna swipe out with it. That I completely missed the dice box with that. My dice has gone off the desk. Give me one moment.
No worries.
Oh, that's a natural 20! Plus 7, so 27 total. Let me roll again.
Get that damage.
Come on, come on. This dice keeps going everywhere. Okay, no, the next one's a 4, so it would only be a total of 11. So, I probably don't get
Man.
crit damage.
Those 11s after the nat 20s today.
Yeah.
And that was to hit the hit Lagrosa.
Yeah, first was 27, second was
That
11
hits.
total.
11 does not a hit.
Yeah, so I don't get the crit damage, which is fine. What he does take is 6 points of strength damage. There's
shit.
the no save listed. Chastity can correct me. It's the graft Dom got. I roll 1d6 of strength damage and they take that, and I lose one of my very few uses.
Okay.
So I might be stupid, but now you're weak.
I may not think, but you not throng anymore.
You're not strong anymore.
There is no save. Oh, that's fucking horrible. All right. Okay.
It was Dom's B-Day
Um,
gift.
I have
This is-
Dom. The spell does go off. As the creature seems to, or as the dragon stands there. Though the dragon's muscles do not look to shrink at all, and it seems to be unaffected by the spell.
Shit, is he immune to fucking strength sap? Like, sapping of
I hope not. I hope not, because I would have sucked to be the second enemy I've used that against and done a really cool thing and it failed.
That would have really sucked. I mean, it also
I'm gonna
might lead me
avoid-
away from using the spell Sap Strength.
I'm gonna avoid narrating how that looked because it didn't seem to work. Anyway, because I didn't move, second attack, I'm just gonna do a typical flurry of blows and try to get some damage in.
Okay.
So let me make my 2 attacks. Come on. You've been rolling. Whoo! Almost another 20. So that's just a 24 to hit. For the first one.
24 to hit. That does. Yeah.
And then the second flurry of blows will be just a dirty 20 to hit.
Dirty 20 to hit. Does not hit.
Okay. Allow me to roll my damage with the new gauntlets. Shout out
say
Eider.
No.
I hate to point this out, but you don't waste your time. They're acid. He's a black dragon.
But what if he's built bad?
I can't confirm. He is acid immune.
He's a black dragon. They are
Wait, it's
intrinsically immune to
considered
acid.
acid +5 when dealing resistance. Oh, but he's just full immune.
Yeah, he's full immune because otherwise he
Why
would
is
be able to
this guy
spit
built
acid.
specifically to spite me?
He's not. He was known as a black dragonkin when you guys started fighting him. I made it very clear when
battle
Dom.
dragon.
He
admittedly.
turned to a dragon.
Well,
Don't get me
to
wrong,
be
I'm not
fair,
gonna bitch.
yeah, he is known as a battle, or I described him as a battle dragon to you guys. Is what you caught onto him. Yeah, you're not wrong on that.
Sorry, you said the 20 didn't land, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so that will be 6 damage on the fist. And I don't think I add anything to that
6?
bonus wise.
6 normal person damage. No acid for you.
It's literally just the brunt force of Dom deciding, fuck this guy.
Of Dom hitting a
so-
wall and being like, "I'm done with this."
Dom, like, lands with his sick-ass attack, doesn't seem to affect him, and he just full roundhouse swings into this guy's already fucked up jaw, and just, the acid cracks out and drips down and does nothing to either of us, but just the force of it. And I continue, like, looking at him across the room where I'm standing. Dom just full face and like a snarling, like teeth bared, I'm still full feral, guys. I'm still holding the sword with my one hand.
Okay.
And yeah,
All right.
that's my turn. I don't think I add anything to that damage because monk stuff.
Nope. All right. Well, as you end your turn, kind of disappointed and angry at this creature even more for daring to be resistant or immune to your powers, once again, the creature seems to snarl down at you as Eider looks up with a bit of a disappointment, I imagine, in his face, looking at the creature. But Kez, you are up.
Well, you see, I was gonna use a spell called Sap Strength, but seeing as how Dom's
You're
little
welcome.
strength removal didn't exactly work, now it's time for me to rethink the fuck I'm doing. Yeah. Let's see. I'm open to suggestions. You know what? I'll just fuck it. I'll give it a
Kill
shot.
him.
I'm
Hit him
gonna
as hard
grapple
as you
it.
can.
I'm gonna grapple the guy.
It's a dragon.
Yeah.
You're gonna grapple it? Okay, let's see what you got.
I'm gonna give it a shot at least, because to initiate a grapple, you need to first do a touch AC thing, right?
Do you have no? You just start a grapple out.
You
As
do
far
make
as
a
those
touch
are-
attack,
there-
technically.
Does it really? Let me check.
I was looking at the grapple rules. So, like, step 1, you make a melee touch attack to see if you can start the grapple, and then you make a
yeah.
grapple check to see if you can hold on.
That sounds about right. Apologies, I'm sober. My mind's not working really well right now. Yes, that sounds about right.
Upside is he's still blind, so he just doesn't have the ability to provoke. So you should be able to just.
I know, that's why I'm doing it now when he can't attack of opportunity me.
Yeah.
Because it's, you see, that's the benefit. Alright, so let's see. As for the touch attack, we have a 17.
17 to hit on touch.
Mm-hmm.
Let me double check. Shockingly, that does it.
All right.
To be fair, if it makes you feel any better, it's flat-footed touch.
It is. It is flat-footed
So
touch.
double fuck this guy.
Yeah, right?
All right. So since I've actually grabbed onto him, does that mean the damage from my Baylor Nimbus takes effect?
Is it
No, you have to
fire?
actually succeed the grapple.
Okay, so I have to succeed the actual holding part. Okay, cool.
Because otherwise you've just touched him, you haven't actually initiated a grapple.
You know, I was just going to try to see if I'm able to do damage whether I succeeded or not. But, alright, I gotta...
That would be cracked. I won't fault you for it.
You know, listen, I'm not
you're really
harsh in our
3.5
I
now.
have a really bad sign for you. I rolled like shit, but I don't think you can beat me for grapple.
Oh, good. Alright, you know, I might be able to because of... Alright, so let's see. Actually, I
You do
don't
not
know.
have this, Kez.
Do you have a plus 29? I mean, like, I'm curious. That's a 39, so go ahead.
It's got further bad news. Even if you roll a 20, it's a check. It's not an attack, so they don't know how to succeed.
Let's see, because what's my
Well, roll
modifier?
20 if he has a plus 19 to strength.
Man, actually, if I max it out to only 27, god damn it. Alright, you know, I mean,
casted the spell on you to enhance your strength.
you know, it probably still wouldn't have been enough.
That's valid. I'm appreciating it.
Hey, you know,
As
that's alright.
Kez tries to grab hold of the leg of the dragon, tries to pull it forward. The dragon just kind of, and just sits a little bit sturdier into the ground as Kez struggles to pull, and the creature does not seem at all phased.
Hey, you know, you can't judge a guy for trying. Alright, I'll smack him in the face with my hammer.
Okay.
Alright. Big money, big money.
Big...
Let's hope for above a 20. Alright, so...
That rhymes.
22. Please?
22. That does just barely hit.
Alright. That's awesome. Alright, so... he's not undead, right?
No.
Alright. Yeah, I thought I'd ask.
Hesitated there. Had me nervous.
Man, that'd be crazy. Alright, we're gonna start off with the D10, which is 5 bludgeoning, a D6 for the lightning, 6 lightning, and I need a fortitude save. I'm almost positive he's gonna succeed, but gotta do it anyway.
Imagine he just has bad fortitude.
He
for some
failed
reason.
one against me.
Well, that was
That was
before
before he
turned.
turned a dragon.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive his dragon form probably got an insane fortitude,
Actually,
but hey,
since he did choose the black dragon form, we're keeping him in his black dragon form because I will tell you, if he transformed into the battle dragon, this would be so much worse.
damn, yeah, no, he's
That's a 34. Okay.
Like I said, I wasn't going to complain about the battle dragon versus black dragon. I'm gonna be real.
Adult battle dragons hurt more when they hit you. As you swing into him with the hammer once again, Kez, you feel as it slams into the scales and bounces off backwards, recoiling. The creature seemingly unaffected and unbothered as it continues to stare down, look about at each of you.
all right, well, boys, that's all I can do. It's been an honor.
This is the undead dragon fight all over again, as Kez.
Exactly, you know. Yeah.
least-
Oh, look at this, a dragon I can't do anything against.
Yeah, literally, I can't do anything against it. You guys are fighting for your lives.
It's not the fact you can't hit it, it's because you can't beat its saves. That's all. You can still manage to hit it.
Well, the
Oh, it still does
Yeah.
damage. It's just
Okay,
like
yeah.
the
the
ancillary
save. All right. Okay, so I actually did damage. Just the thing that required.
Yes.
Okay, I was like, oh god, because I mean that was for the fortitude save was to, I think, save against the poison damage that my mace does. Well, the Warhammer does. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I get worried. I get worried when I hear it doesn't do anything, alright?
Just double checking. It does actually do damage. It's just like the save was obviously saved.
Yeah.
I fucking hope so. I don't know. I don't know if he's got immunity to bludgeoning and lightning.
Not bludgeoning.
Oh, so he's got immunity to lightning.
Right now, yes.
Shit. I know Black Dragon's got immunity to lightning.
It's no, Black Dragons do not have immunity to lightning normally, but you can ask your friend Eider why.
Yeah, so I assume that's because he fucking teleported, like did the thing and then changed over to something that is.
Well, I'll put you in a simple term. Have you ever tried to shock a piece of wood?
Oak flesh? Is that what he did to me? Or something similar to that?
Okay. I didn't realize it also like mimicked that portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, listen, last time I saw, a tree get struck by lightning and got cracked in half. But,
I would say trees notoriously don't do great.
I guess okay.
Light on fire.
How do you prefer it to be adjudicated? Because like I typically would wait for like my actual turn to like do the thing. Is that how you prefer to do it, or
it's up to Kez if he wants to ask you, or if he's going to look to you guys for assistance on what to do? Is he smacking at the thing? Although you did roll, right, Kez? So that's
it's already been done.
Yeah,
it's been said and done with.
Okay, cool.
I kind of look at me doing absolutely fucking nothing with any of my thing. I'm like, oh shit. Well.
Okay. As you look on, Ned would jump over to you.
Just staring at the dire battle on the floor in panic.
And twitching as it seems to not be able to move much. The two little bats fluttering about looking down over at you now. What are you thinking?
Whatever you do not get fucking bit by those things. Oh my god.
True that.
So which bat did the bite? The damaged one or the...
Yes.
Okay. I would like to turn to the non-damaged bat. And Ned's gonna, like, flash both hands out in a very, like, just weird way.
Mm-hmm.
And I need a fortitude save from the bat.
Oh! I don't like that. That's a 17.
Well, balls. Okay, so that failed. And I'm just going to swing up my staff at the one I hit.
Alright, let's see what you got.
A 9. It's been good knowing you fellas.
I'm sorry to say, but a 9 does not hit the bats. As the bats flies kind of around the swing. The quarterstaff going wide as it taps into one of the wooden pillars, and the bats, if they could snicker, would be Ned feels they would be looking at him unsnickering. All right,
race, right? No manners whatsoever.
Ned is seething with anger. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Ned?
That is my turn.
Oh no.
Does the bat get a roll, or is it just straight up 5 minutes?
It is straight up 5 minutes once you fail to save. Yeah, it says the bite, all living creatures unless the victim succeeds a fortitude save, paralyzed creatures unable to move for the 1d6 plus 2 minutes. So, yep, sadly.
And the fact that it's minutes and not rounds is...
Oh, bone bats are evil. They also don't do much for damage. They're very weak on that. Alright! Absalon, can you do it again? Yes! Absalon returns once more as a corpse!
Damn it!
Hey, Dad, at least one of us is having a good time.
He's back!
I've come to bargain.
Although again, he can't do anything as he returns once more, ending his turn.
My dad's just doomed to eternally come back and then die, become an onion, and then come back and then die and become an onion.
Well, good question. The two bone bats are going to turn and swoop at, Ned once more.
Come on, Ned.
If I roll, that's 22, 11, 12, and 14.
Unfortunately, the 22 does.
Ooh, I do need a fortitude save from you, Ned.
Come on, Ned.
I hate to point out, but I did the spellfire thing, and they did like immediately look over me.
I know.
Oh, okay, I didn't know if they were gonna be like.
That is 2 points of piercing from the biting, and you just barely succeed the fortitude save. As the creature bites down onto you, kind of leaving a little mark where you see blood beginning to trickle out. You feel your nerves kind of, for a moment, seem to lock up and then begin to relax again. I've got also even worse news, Ned, as you realize this paralysis probably is not a one-and-done thing. You will have to make this save every time. As the creatures end their turn, up to the top of the initiative, Eider.
I can't tell you how weird it is to be at the top of the initiative.
I know. Listen, it's the same here. I'm just
We're all
happy that after
surprised.
this, the sickened thing is no longer a thing.
Well, the second thing, I think was last turn. Like he's done
It
with it
just
now.
ended.
Mhm. Yeah, it just ended on Ned. So like but I'm ecstatic.
How are we gonna fight a fucking adult black dragon at
Well, I
level
guess-
4?
I got some good news. He's fucked off. He is no longer here.
Eider smiles and mentions
this
this.
This is just a fucking like cardboard wood cutout, basically.
Oh man.
But if we kill it, he will die because he will take the damage.
You would fuck off when I'm in a rigorous combat avenging my father.
So I guess I don't. Just to like go over a little bit like the specifics of like stuff I might know about this. Does he like have an understanding of like how much damage this thing is taking, so he could like just end it if like, we get too far, like kicking his ass?
I mean, you're unsure what his kickoff of. That's just the spell that he used. You don't. I mean, his plan. I mean, could be a number of things. You weren't given any concept to that with the spellcraft roll. You can try and give me a common sense check, which is either a wisdom check. But otherwise, you can put together whatever you think it might be, or a sense
Kinda,
motive.
Well, I was just curious if like the actual spell itself gave like a sympathetic link, like that he was aware of the amount of damage that he was taking
from all the spell specifically states is exactly as what I wrote.
Okay.
So there is no draw. He does not know how much damage this thing has taken. In theory, he can't sense how much damage it's taken unless he physically is looking at it and sees it, like its arm get torn off or something.
Gotcha. That would be fucking hilarious if he quote unquote
Someone lit
teleported
this thing on
3
fire.
feet away. It's just like,
That's not good.
So we're either at potentially at a DPS race. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to use this spell if he's not like gonna immediately like cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
How far away are the bats?
Well,
Right.
he is blocking you somewhat because he still has a tail. While you can get between his legs, getting underneath or getting around him, he is still blocking the doorway fully for reference. But Ned is 30 feet from him. The bats would be 30 feet away and about 5 feet up in the air above Ned's height, which is Ned. You are 15 feet tall.
I am 15 and a half.
Yeah. So they'd be 20 feet in the air.
Okay, so very far out of the. I was gonna see if I could use my breath weapon on him or not.
Okay.
So and just because like the spell didn't mention it, does he seem to like just like picking up sort of plant vulnerabilities?
It does. It does seem to be the case from what you can tell.
Got it. All right. I'll keep going with my original plan then, for at least part of it. So like, reach up to like his like scaly underbelly with like the gauntleted hand, and I like force this grayish light to come forward, and I'm gonna make a real fast little touch attack while he's still blinded, and just cool. I didn't roll a 1.
Oh, I was say touch. That does succeed.
Yep. And then we get to roll. Is 11 is 11 more than his natural armor bonus?
No.
Or the same amount?
It is less by a lot.
His natural armor bonus?
Yep. Plus 18.
God damn.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can literally snip what the actual thing. Like, I'm using an official sheet here. I'm not. This isn't even a custom made.
I was just confused because like his AC has been 22. 10 plus 18.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's something on that.
I think it's well, if you're a size category, you take a hit to AC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but large is only -1.
Yep.
That's true. I don't
so
know.
That must be. So that means there's something funky going on.
Could be an item he has.
Because I have his staff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right, well, I'm gonna just smack him. Nope.
What would you hit for? Sorry.
Oh, 19.
19 does not hit. My apologies. Someone was trying to seduce the dragon in the background.
My bad, guys.
Either as you go to swing at the creature, it slams into the bottom carriage of it. As the thing hits the scales, though, the creature seems unaffected and unbothered by what you're doing, looking down as it does, still staring where you were, it kind of wondering where you are now that the cloud has cleared from around its face. All right, does that end your turn, Eider, or because that was only one spell? Yeah.
Well, no, that was the touch attack, which didn't work because it didn't beat his touch it hurt.
His natural, so, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Wanted to make sure. All right. All right. As you end your turn, he is up, and he is going to do a spot check to see if he can see Eider underneath him. Easily, and is going to, as Eider is the one who keeps swinging, doing the most damage, is going to try and grab Eider immediately from underneath. This will be a grapple attack, or grapple against you, so, but this will be his 1d20 to try and hit.
If only you could cast Baylor Nimbus on other people.
No shit.
It would help. I'm just double checking to make sure of something. I'm correct.
Who's the dragon hitting?
I mean, theoretically, I could make an attack of opportunity, but...
Yep. All right, cool. It is. It's grapple. It's making an attack on Eider.
Okay, so nothing. Yeah, nothing I can do about that.
So this will be a 19 to see if it first hits. So that's a 23 to see if it actually hits.
It does. It doesn't have like the improved like grab or anything like that, so I can provoke. It does provoke, right?
Yep. And now for the actual grapple. After you do your opportunity attack to see if you hit. Nope. That does not hit. So go ahead and roll grapple.
No.
Please roll grapple. I don't want to feel bad. Come on.
What? Okay, one sec.
With your plus 29?
Okay, cool.
Alright, cool. With a 44, I think, versus 17, surprisingly, you lose to the adult dragon that grabs you.
Yeah, no shit.
As he grabs hold of you and picks you up to him, right in front of his face, he is going to stare at you and unleash his breath weapon onto you.
Another one, no.
Did you roll his recharge?
Yes. And that's why I had to wait until sickening ended. So, alright. I will need a reflex. Well, you can't reflex. Oh, okay. So, Kez and Dom, I need a reflex from you both because you are technically still within firing range of this.
Technically, I think you still can make a reflex save.
Well, you're grappled. I don't know. Like that's if you want to, that's fine. You're going to be disadvantaged at the very least, in my opinion, by a lot.
I mean,
You lose your dexterity bonus.
Does a
no movement. Go ahead.
Does a 21 save?
21 does not. Oh no, it does save. Yes, it does. So you will take half. You just meet, so you take half. Dom, what'd you get?
24, and because of evasion, if that succeeds, I take no damage.
Alright, so you will take no damage. Kez and Eider, you've got half of that is going to be 7. And Eider, for you, that is 15 acid damage straight to the face.
Alright, we are at 30 health, gentlemen.
As the creature blows and roars in your face once more. And now, because of what's happening in the background, I have to make a concentration because of fucking literally that, just that. Oh, thank you. Okay.
Oh, by the way, does Dom's dad die again?
Ah, good point. Dom's dad has to make the reflex save again. Let's see if he can make. Come on, Absalon. He's got a -1. You know, I don't think I can actually make this. No. Once again.
God, this is a new form of torture being brought back.
Oh, good news! Absalon is not dead. He is on 2 HP. He remains standing as his body melts and the dried flesh begins to pull from the skin, leaving the very brittle bones to show as their blackened and brittle design. Alright, as that ends the dragon's turn. Dom, you're up once more.
Alright, if it's a... well, no, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna do... So I'm going to do... Flurry of Blows, first attack, and as part of it, I'm declaring a use of my Soul Warp Strike. So this will be fun if I hit. Let's see. That's, once again, off my desk.
All you're telling me is we need to get you a dice tower.
I have a dice tower, I just keep missing it and sending them flying across the room.
Oh my god!
I'm trying to roll good. I'm trying to roll
You just put him in there!
Aggressive and good. Whew. Oh, okay. It was upside down. I thought it was a 19. It's a 16 plus... so that should be a 23 to hit.
23 does hit.
And because of the Soul Warp Strike, this guy needs to make a Fortitude save. And I don't think he'll fail, but we'll see.
Let's see, because he gets
what,
draconic bonuses. For Fortitude, it is a +15. You are correct.
I remembered. Never happen again.
I don't think he can fail this, actually.
I rolled a nat 1.
Oh my god!
I need to check something. DC 10 plus half my character's level, which is 2, so that's 12. Plus my wisdom. It is a no. What? But it is a 15 total for the sale. It auto fails.
Saves cannot auto succeed or auto fail. That is not a thing because you cannot crit succeed on a save.
You explicitly can. Saves and attacks are the only things that crit success and crit fail.
I looked this up and you're wrong. I will. Then I swear.
I didn't think it did because it is a 15 save. I didn't think it did, but if this does, that's even better. I was banking on him succeeding, but I will gladly take him failing.
I mean, if nat 20's...
No, he's right. It is specified exactly that a nat 20 is an auto success and a nat 1 is an auto failure. You are correct.
Hey God, I need to reread this then.
So yeah, go ahead.
Holy shit. I was gonna sicken him, but because he failed, any living creature is nauseated for 1 round. The nauseated condition states a creature cannot attack, cast spells, concentrate on spells, or do anything else requiring action. They can only take a single move action per turn. So any spells being concentrated on.
Well, the good news.
Holy shit!
You watch as the dragon turns immediately into a husk of a tree and begins to crumble into a pile of broken bark down onto the ground. Eider, give me a tumble check to see if you succeed as you drop to the ground from its hands as Dom's ability goes off, breaking the automatic concentration on the creation.
Ooh, I still have more attacks, but I think this might be just
Either,
here.
Okay.
Was that a -7?
Either you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you land on your knees.
No! Either!
Either he's got his damage.
Come on, buddy! Stay with me!
He's got knee pads set up. As the dragon crumbles apart, the bats and Absalon are still standing. As they do, we are not out of initiative though. As Dom, as you as you activate your ability, you watch as the dragon breaks apart.
First question: do I need to roll damage on the tree, or is that figure just that placeholder just
sure
done?
Go ahead and roll damage.
I was gonna say I wasn't sure if it mattered or not, but I'll roll my. So that's a 5 plus a 5, so 10. I did 10, guys. That was better than last time.
You watch as the tree or the bits of bark as they're starting to crumble kind of gets shunted out back into the other room and kind of engraves itself slightly into the floor around Ned, almost giving a nice little perfect circle going around Ned's feet as it does so. But otherwise, as the creature crumbles. Mm-hmm.
Question for my rage thingy. Does that remain? Does that go away? Does that shift to a new creature? What is the status?
I've got bad news, Dom. You're not sure, but you're still angry.
So I'm just generally angry.
You are still wanting to kill this creature, but it's not there anymore, and that makes you angrier.
So Dom, with all his rage, lands a hit, and as he does so, there's just bright ignition of purple and black and green light from his chest and around his energy, in his fist. And for a moment, you guys swear you see the spectral image of the goose whose soul I absorbed as this lands. And as this thing crumbles to dust, and I'm angry, and I must hit something, and nothing's here. How far away is my father's cadaver?
About 15 feet to your left, roughly.
Okay. 50 feet, and then how far are the bone bats?
About 30 feet, it'd be, in your case, since you're 10 feet, or 15 feet back from the doorway, it would be 45 feet and then 20 feet in the air. Because you'd have to go over where Ned is.
And you also see me looking like a granny trying to swat him out of the air with a broom.
So this sucks. I got Flurry of Blows, so I get one more attack, but in order to move to get to an enemy, I would lose a secondary. Can I attack, move, and attack with Flurry of Blows?
No. That's spring attack.
I didn't think so.
Yep. No, sadly.
Yeah, so there is...
You can 5 foot step to try and hit your dad if you wanted.
5 foot step. Okay, yeah. So I think Dom looks, and then in his low intelligence state, in this feral man state, where he's fully beginning to hunch over and act breathe heavy and act animalistic, he just locks eyes on the body of his father, and there's just this glimmer of something hungry, and I will take a step and fucking swing.
Okay.
I was afraid you say bite. I was
right.
Hungry and everything.
I think I might whiff it. It's only a 10. How buff is my dad?
10 to hit. Does not hit as your fist as your eyes fill with tears. The fist unnaturally goes wide of the head as the creature doesn't even seem to move.
All right, 10 feet away from my dad, staring him down. Dom is not happy.
All right, as you end your turn, Dom, Kez, you're up.
Yes. All right. So all we got left is Dom's dad, which no one's gonna touch, but Dom for the foreseeable future. And 2 bats.
Correct. We just leave Dom to beat the dog shit out of his own father.
Yeah.
Unless my dad starts kicking my ass, then you're allowed to intervene.
Okay. Yeah. No problem. Until that happens, I'm gonna let you do you. And Ned is fighting off 2 bats. Is Ned paralyzed? No, right?
No, not yet.
Is his bat still there?
On the ground, twitching. Paralyzed.
Gotcha. I'm going to cast Remove Paralysis on the bat.
Okay.
Get back in the game, little buddy.
The
Quick
bat.
question: can you cast it on me too? I need to.
Oh well, it's up to 4 creatures. So if you're paralyzed, then yeah, I got you, bud.
Yeah, I can be a legal target for it. It doesn't
Would it-
matter. I can still get my spellfire level from it. Damn it.
Yeah. There's I mean, if by targeting you, does it also take it away from the
No.
down bat?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't eat the entire effect. It just
Does
doesn't.
it also take it for me having to roll for it?
Because it's just any temporary paralysis effect. So I believe if you're still having to save for it, it would stop you from eating it.
No,
It's
he
up
was
to
saying.
4.
He was saying like you're going to have to make the save every time the bats attack. It's not like like a poison
Yeah.
or anything that's recurring.
Yeah. So the bat is safe. Is no longer paralyzed now, and it'll be able to flutter around. But if it's attacked again, you'll have to cast the spell again on it.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a way to get the bat back up and fighting for more things in the initiative, and it gives Aether a little boost.
Mm-hmm.
I get 2 spell levels.
Yeah, man. There you go. All right. That's it for me.
Oh, I see. Actually, what
I'm
you're
not-
saying. I'm sorry. Actually, no. The bat does need to make a Fortitude save.
All right.
The spell, because it is focusing on multiple, is going to be giving a bonus on this case.
Yes, I see that. Yes.
What's the bonus I add?
Plus 4.
Yep, plus 4.
I believe in you.
Can the
I mean-
bat beat a DC 14? No, it cannot.
Oh
And
my
a plus 11.
god! I tried, little bat. I tried.
This kid yells at the
Two
bat
on
on the
the
ground,
die.
twitching. All right.
Put more effort into that. You got this. Come on.
As you yell at it, Kaz, you've stepped into the room, kind of looking about. Is there? That's your movement and your spell.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, that's
all
it for me.
right. Ned, you're up. The bat is still
Okay,
on the
that's
ground, paralyzed.
Damn
So.
bone
I will
bat.
say
Yep.
that was my last level 2 spell, so
I'm gonna make it count.
yeah, better.
But actually, first Ned is going to reach into his pocket and pull out 3 of his small stones he has. And I'm going to cast Magic Stone.
Oh.
Okay.
And I am going to fling one of them at the damaged bone bat.
Ooh. Okay. Let's see what you got.
All right.
Cloud of force.
Is that considered bludgeoning damage?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Good.
14 just barely hits.
And these are undead, right?
Correct.
Sweet. Okay. Ooh,
This party loves fighting undead. It's our favorite hobby.
Generally, yeah.
Let's see what you got for damage. And in the distance, the great galactic empire rises when all of the people here do not know what awaits them in the stars.
9 damage.
9 damage. The slightly injured bat immediately cracks and breaks apart, shattering in the air as the rock goes right through the creature, leaving only the secondary one kind of fluttering there, completely oblivious and ignorant of the other one's complete destruction. As a little rock goes flying into the side of the wall of the cellar, and slightly indenting itself in the on the other side of the room.
All right. I will ready a second stone, and that's my turn because I already.
Okay, as you ready your second stone, we jump over to Absalon, and I am sorry to do this to you, Dom. Dom, I'm gonna be making a ranged attack.
Alright.
Or rather, a touch attack on you.
Alright.
Which is not the greatest in this
Touch
situation.
attacks exclude all dodge bonuses as well, correct?
Uh,
This is a dexterity bonus.
No, touch attacks exclude armor bonuses.
Yeah, it's just purely your dex.
Oh, then I still get that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, your touch's AC as a monk
it's-
is almost the same, I think.
Yeah, it's basically
said,
10
is it
plus
15?
your dex mod.
And whiz.
Yeah, and whiz.
And
Yep.
whiz, yeah.
Yep. So that was a 15 to hit. Yep.
Misses.
All right, that's the first one. He is going to do it a second time. This is only well, if I can roll a little higher.
Come on, buddy.
This is a
buddy.
good
I feel
spell.
bad for my dad.
That was a good spell. I won't get to use it again until later to smack you with. Oh well. All right, that ends his turn. If someone just messaged me asking me what the spell was, you don't want to add salt to the wound. I'll just kill your character, so please don't bother. All right, the bone bats are up. The one is going to immediately start swinging start biting towards the infamous Ned, as it has been doing so this entire time. Ned, that is an 11 and a 17 to hit.
17 hits.
17 does hit. Please give me a fortitude save. As you take 6 points of piercing damage as the little bat bites into, kind of flies down and bites your hand holding the staff, drawing a little bit of blood. Oh, easily succeeding the save. As you do, kind of swatting the fly away, or the bat away from your hand once more. All right, that ends its turn. Up to the top of the initiative. Eider, you're up.
Cool. Is there a geometric way to get both of these bats in a line?
I don't know. I failed geography in high school.
Isn't one bat dead, or am I mistaken?
One bat is dead. You are correct. If you want a geographical question, the answer or a geometry-based question, no, there's no way. But what if you've got some other way of phrasing the question? I might be able to assist.
I want to use a line attack to hit both. Is that possible?
From where you stand in the doorway, what's the distance on the spell requirement?
60 feet.
Oh, easily you could hit them. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I kind of shuffle to my knees, reach into a pouch, pull out a scintillating silver sphere, pop it into my palm, pull, point to the bats, and just kind of fire off with a beam of upsettingly bright daylight.
Okay. All right. Let's see if are you casting daylight at them?
No, I'm using the handy dandy little insert. The little laser.
Oh no. All right. Is that a save or an attack?
It's a save.
All right. What am I rolling? Will or reflex?
Reflex.
Reflex. Okay. I'm
DC
good
25.
at these. 25. Oh, I can't even succeed. But I can crit. That's a 17. So nope.
Woo.
The creature fails as you shoot a beam of sunlight towards it. And like a chia pet, it starts to grow. Holy shit! And like a chia pet, it expands so much that the thing explodes, and it as the bones expand out, imploding as they're baked away. Little bits of the bones kind of falling down to the ground as the bat, or the secondary bat, falls, or pretty much glowing and superheated.
And then it's uncomfortably bright in the room for the next round. It's just
I will
daylight.
mention as the daylight or as the light shoots off towards the bat, all the torches seem to change from their flickering of blackish purple light to back to their reddish coloration once more. All right, as Ned just stares wide-eyed at it. All right, Eider, does that end your turn?
Yeah, it was a full action, I imagine, to swap out the insert.
Okay.
And then, using the thing.
All right. Dom. Absalon's body continues to flail, magic seemingly concentrating in its hand, but fluctuating and fizzling out to nothing as it tries to seemingly attack you. What would you like to do?
Once more in... Actually, does anyone else in the party speak Draconic?
No, you're good, Chief.
Yes,
no
I
one?
do.
Eider.
I speak
Okay.
Draconic.
Then, I was gonna say, I swore Eider did. Then you just see Dom in this, stupid, I don't know what else to say other than stupid state. He's in this dumb mode. And this like anger, just like looks at his father, not seeming to comprehend anything other than a moving target, and just says, "When I get my hands on you, you're mine." And snarls as he flurries of blows again. I love attacking my beloved father's fucked up cadaver.
Hey, I don't think.
Oh my god, that is a 7.
7.
A 7.
I rolled a 2.
As once more you slam into the table, it cracks along the side of the corpse. As tears kind of run down the side of your face, unbeknownst to you. And as the table cracks, all the rest of you just hear inside as it sounds like someone just slammed into a hard surface of wood and broke through it.
And then unfazed, my second swing. That is a 14.
That one hits, finally.
Oh, and I don't think my father's immune to acid, is he?
No.
Oh, Father. Father, I'm so sorry. So the fists themselves, the blunt force trauma, will do 8 damage.
Uh-huh.
And the the damage from the gauntlet will do not as much as it could have done. 5 more damage.
As you punch through, kind of the second fist going right through as you close your eyes in anger, trying to kind of be able, trying to focus your mind to actually hit this creature. You feel your hand go right through something, almost like a paper mache, as it pushes through. As you open your eyes, you see a corpse kind of staring back at you. A hole where in its chest where your fist has clearly gone through, and a smile on the corpse's melted face as the creature whispers one final time the words. Well, actually, you know what, Dom, give me a listen check.
Oh, could you imagine?
Because if I failed, I mean, I am in rage. I think that's why Royce make me even roll. I'm in like a state of fury. That is, however, a 17 plus 7. So that should be a fucking, 24?
Dom, you hear the creature quietly whisper the words, "Dragon's Crown," before the corpse kind of falls forward onto your fist, and the body begins to disintegrate one final time, leaving nothing as you look down, but as the corpse falls apart, a small, what looks to be golden pendant that Dom, immediately upon seeing it, give me a will save.
Oh, this is probably what I think it is, but that is a 16 plus 24.
As you're brought out of your almost unforgiving rage, your mind begins to clear, and as it does so, the intelligence kind of flowing back to your mind as the concentration for that spell finally ends, or rather, the effect of that spell finally ends. You see the locket that you recognize that your father used to carry, and as you kind of take a look at it for a moment and click it open, it pops open, and inside is a painting of you, your mother, your father, and a small elven child.
Oh,
Sibling lore!
that's
Sibling lore!
As you feel the rage kind of crack away, the rest of you are out of combat as you look about the rest of the area, expecting undead at this point to start climbing out of the walls. As you all kind of take a second to look about, hearing Dom kind of seemingly in the background, the occasional light sounds of sobbing, I imagine, kind of coming through. Go ahead.
I want to PM. Actually, I'm going to PM you something real quick. Sorry, continue.
As Ned, Eider, and Kez, as you look over at the weird unholy symbol that Ned had seen earlier that Lagrosa was talking to, this strange thing of mud, flesh, sticks, and skulls and bones, kind of all pushed and smeared together in this strange like pile of goo. it begins to ignite as you look over at it. A blackened flame coming off of it and burning away as it does. The symbol of Ella Ugbo kind of being shown in the smoke and showing it as if it's being burned away and disintegrating as the pile eventually dissipates into nothing but smoke and then follows into the church above.
Now, I am curious because he was blocking the way back into the church. I would like to go that way, see if there's anything strange in that direction.
Okay. As you kind of start like seeing this and concerned, you begin to follow the smoke up. Give me a search check as you head upstairs.
Yeah, because I remember, like, in the couple of sessions ago, like, before, our trip to Abaddon, before the fight, because I think, he led us into, like, the little cellar from the outside, but he was blocking the way back into the church. So definitely curious about what that was all about, if there was anything. You said search or spot?
Search. Mm-hmm.
All right. That is a 19.
19 as you head up above. As you head into the church, kind of climbing the wooden stairs, as you make the turn around into the main steeple, coming up behind where the lectern is, the holy book that you see is of Ella Ugbo's, kind of torn up and scratched up, that still kind of sat there. Bits of some sort of brownish liquid kind of poured over the pages. As you look about, you do see a single, what looks to be a sigil or holy symbol, kind of sitting at the back of the lectern. As you look over, two skulls, a copper and bronze one, kind of sitting there next to each other, displayed as a kind of almost a macabre warning. As you look around. Looking around at the rest of the room, you don't notice anything else that catches your attention immediately, other than the gnarled, or the last of the other gnarled staff that you see kind of pushed up against the doorway. Kind of almost as if it's designed to lock the door and keep people from getting out, a bracer, if you will. This long metal staff looks to be similar to the gnarled metal staff that that LaGrossa was carrying around down below, but seems to be taller in length. Otherwise, everything else looks to be a few pews, some carpeting on the ground, the lectern itself, and a few books here and there that look to be pretty common for what you'd expect. Just some notable notes about who used to attend this church, the members of Ella Ugbo's followers who have worked within the church here specifically to get everything set up, and then lastly, just what you find is a book of the accounts, meaning like the coin the church would collect and where it would spend it.
Gotcha. Huh. Well, this church was meant to be a place for Ella Ugbo, and by the goddess, I'll make sure it stays that way. All right, I head back down, and I'm gonna talk to Ada real quick, if y'all don't mind.
I mean, as you head back down. Yeah, as you head back down, Dom's still in the back room, kind of quiet. Ned and Ida are kind of standing around in the basement. Yeah.
I want to.
Well, go ahead, Dom.
Oh. I just want to say Dom is like on his knees, holding the pen in one hand and still gripping the sword in the other, and is just dead silent.
It's still in the closet. Yep.
Actually, I look at Ada, and I'm about to say something, and then I see Dom, and I'll be like, hold that thought, Ader. I'll be right back. And I'm gonna head over to Dom. It's time for bonding!
Oh my gosh, bonding! We're gonna trauma bond? Time. I've waited so long.
Ned and Ida are gonna follow after, as they say, see Kez kind of heading in, hearing Dom still kind of grieving.
I was gonna give them like a little bit of private space, because as far as I'm aware, they know each other quite a bit better than I do. Okay. I was gonna just like refill my spellfire levels up to about 10 to make sure I can't get ambushed again, and then kind of wander around and double check that this fucker one has left and see if there's any kind of bad juju that
if anything, I would
fuck us up.
Okay.
If anything, I would whisper to you, hey, there's a sigil to that guy's deity upstairs, along with another similar-looking staff. You mind checking those out for me while I talk to Dom real quick? Yeah, that'd be great.
I just gotta like nod and immediately go like check that shit out immediately because it
Okay.
sounds cursed as fuck, possibly.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
I'm like, listen, you're the item guy.
As Eider kind of starts heading off towards the stairs, beginning to cast spells and such on himself, Ned, who are you kind of following after? Are you going to go with Kez, or are you going to follow after Eider? Or are you going to do something separate?
Yeah, Ned would kind of patrol around, kind of keep on guard.
Taking his little summon bat with him? Okay.
Well, the bat only lasts 4 rounds, so it's probably about gone.
The bat is gone, yep, okay. Alright, as you kind of head back out and start watching, looking around yourself, Eider and Ned both give me search and spot checks and for making sure to kind of look around. Ned looking around outside the church and around the grounds of the smaller walled elf area, and then Eider upstairs looking about.
You said both search and spot?
Yep.
I would like to take 20 on the search just to double check that I don't miss anything.
Okay.
Can't on the spot, obviously, so I'll just fucking roll that shit. But
Damn, Ned.
Damn, Ned. Jink.
24 in search, okay.
And then the 16 was the spot check.
Okay.
That 8 is actually a 16. It didn't add my +8.
Okay.
That helps.
All right, we'll come back to you two in a moment as you begin to kind of look about, trying to spot and notice anything that would catch your attention about this individual, any other like notable followers, bad juju, as it was put forth.
Magic items.
Yes,
Some bad medicine, as the Native Americans would say.
Exactly. As you kind of head into the closet, you see Dom kind of kneeling with the still sword in hand. At this point, the sword having transformed back into a staff as it was, and then the locket or something shiny in the other hand, kind of somewhat I imagine a little bit harder to glance at, given they'd probably be closer to the chest of Dom and kind of more covered by their body.
Hey, brother. How you feeling?
Okay. Quick question before I respond to that. Do I still have that intelligence penalty?
Nope, that ended as soon as the dragon vanished.
Cool. Just
You're
wanted
in
to
your
check.
right mind.
Damn, I can't punch you. No. So you approach. Are you like getting down to Dom's level where he's kneeling on the ground, or are you just kind of like standing off to the side?
I'm gonna get on your level. I'm not
Oh.
one to enjoy standing over people.
Unless
it's
then
Aiden.
you just see. Yeah, I can't help that. You just see again the kind of like tears that had formed in a fight without him knowing, just like slow at the edge of his face. His eyes still kind of slitted and shining, but less feral. He's come out of whatever state he was in, though he keeps his like death grip now on the great sword. And he's holding the pendant, and there's like this expression of sorrow and grief, and you watch it morph as you approach into confusion. And as you like get to his level and ask how he's doing, there's some expression of rage and just curiosity and like all these conflicting emotions. And he kind of slams the pendant like shut, and looks kind of up at you. Apologies, Kisnanak. I didn't catch what you said. Repeat that.
How are you, brother?
If I was ever doing good, I'm not. But I understand why you're asking. It's you lost your father, right? I'm
Yeah.
sure you know. It was so funny. I didn't think we were anything alike when we first met. Because to be truthful, I thought you and I were like fire to water, night to day. Then I found out you had lost your father when we heard it back then, and you had joined the Ugbo's cause to get justice, to seek retribution. It didn't seem right back then to impose myself in such a moment, but that's not too different from why I'm doing what I'm doing, I suppose. And he kind of like looks down at his hand holding the pendant, at the gauntlets Eider have made, bits of the acid still kind of dripping off them, at the blood and gore left from where he had like punched through the chest of his father's corpse, and kind of just scoffs a bit. To think, didn't even kill the bastard who did this. All of this. I've tried so hard for so many years to get strong, and I'm still pathetically weak. Only good thing of this is Utham didn't see my failure.
What failure?
The failure to do any of this. My father's, whatever the man is behind this, is escaped. I still have not taken down Oat in his cult. We still have not solved any of our problems. I've done so much to make myself stronger, and I am still just useless.
No, Dawn.
And if
No. We haven't failed. Not yet. We have yet to succeed. We haven't failed yet. We're not the end. We fail at the end, or we succeed. So to say your failure is blatantly wrong, and to say you're useless, well, frankly, in that fight, you probably did much more than I did. So if you're useless, well, God, I'm beyond help. But
I don't think.
Let's, if you don't mind, let's move away from the current happenings. If you don't mind me asking, tell me about your father. What was he
My
like?
father. Oh, I've not spoken much of him since he died. It was not useless. It was a poor choice when one is weak and fragile and young to linger on things that get one killed, I suppose. There was no time for grief. One has to keep moving. And as he's saying this, he's like starting to kind of like stand up, and like is still holding on to both items, so he kind of can't extend a hand to help you up, but kind of seems to wait for you to stand with him.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I don't know his history enough to tell you. I do not know our family name, our clan name. He was merchant. He specialized in tattoos and calligraphy and things of fine detail and precision and control. And he was a good man. I know I'm not. So much so that you have all mistrusted me in the past for the right reason. I've done things to benefit me and those I care about. He would have been the type more like you and Eiter. But being kind, being forgiving, being peaceful gets you killed. And in his case, it gets you damned to whatever torture it is that allows him to revive like that. and it gets your son like this. And he kind of, still with the items in his hands, gestures, and you know for a fact he is regarding the curse or the condition or the things you like the parties argued about in the past. When it comes to Don, his soul absorption stuff. So I wish I could say he died a grand death, but I'm afraid he died a quiet one in a hidden cult lair where only I bore witness. And I've done not much to make good the wrong that was committed there.
Well, you could start by giving your father a proper burial.
Side note, did the body actually remain a body or did it turn to
It's
ash
ash.
again? Okay, yeah. I think it would be wrong to bury him. This was not his land. These are putrid, rotten, the ground that stands here, the people who live here, the things that have been done here. But I think perhaps letting the wind take part of him away would be good. Get him as far as one can get him from this place. And
Okay, then.
I guess I'll look to see if I have a bag or anything that I could scoop my father's ashes into.
There's the very thin ash that's left is mostly at this point kind of spread out. It'd be pretty hard for you to, but if you'd like to, yeah, feel free. Give me just a D20 roll. We'll say.
All right.
I'll,
Yay! 15.
Dom, I'll leave you to handling your father, but before I leave you, I want you to know this. It is not bad to be peaceful. It's bad to be harmless. With peaceful, one could still do some damage, just only when necessary. And then I'll leave.
Before you go, Dom kind of like stops you, and kind of like he places. I think he's pocketed the pendant, or perhaps I'll say he's put it on actually, and kind of puts a hand on your shoulder, like just to get your attention. And you are shorter than me, so I suppose he's looking down, not on you, but at you, just to make eye contact.
No, yeah.
And there's this, again, this conflicting emotions because this is not Dom's area of expertise. You could tell without like a check that he's very uncomfortable opening up and being vulnerable and like being seen like this. But there's an earnesty in this as he locks your eyes. I know I need to be better. We all do, but I especially, with Abaddon and this, in the threats to our lives. As you said, to be harmless is to be dead. The fate of the world's in our hands, and we must take that burden and be strong enough to bear it. I do not want to fight you, Kez. I hold a strong respect for you. I do now. And I know things with our beliefs are complicated. But I tell you this, as a friend, as someone I trust now, I need to get stronger. And I think we both know there's only one way for me to do this, and that is to embrace my nature. As long as you can keep me in check, I think this isn't the time to talk about it now, but I'm going to give you and the group the truth of it, I think.
Are you
Seems
sure, Dom?
there's nothing left for me to hide.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Dom. You are a valued member of the party. And what I'm gonna go do now is I'm gonna go pray for your father's soul and hope I can do anything with that to see if I can get your dad out of the place he is. I'm not sure it'll do anything, but one step at a time. Hey, Dom.
Yeah, I am. I'm not a man of faith. I think it's best someone like you prays for him than I do, and it means a lot. And he kind of gives you like a deep, respectful like nod of his head, and then I'll go back to scooping up my father's ashes.
All right. As you continue kind of scooping up the ashes into a bag the best you can, it's not easy, and you're not sure if half this is dust. At this point, this is more to kind of make yourself feel better, Dom. As you begin to do this, kind of enjoying the quiet for a moment to yourself as Kez heads out. Kez, as you walk out and kind of find yourself heading up the stairs to give Dom a moment to themselves and to contemplate, as well as to take a moment to gather the ashes, not try and get involved, get in the way of that. As you head upstairs, you see as Eider has a long rope kind of tied around a very long metal staff and is like keeps blasting it with different kinds of colors of magic. First, you hear the acidic sounds and the smell of acid coming from out there. Next, you watch as he kind of holds his gauntlet out and blasts fiery magic towards it to try and melt it. Yet to no avail, and still a slight annoyance at the staff as he stares at it. The rope clearly already having melted. Ned kind of standing a few feet behind, just watching as Ned holds a letter in his hand that's slightly muddied. Damn. Okay.
Waving it in Eider's face.
Yeah, Eider. The staff is unfazed.
Even by the like pure fucking magic energy ripping it apart.
Yep.
How's it going, guys? How are you doing up here?
As you
Do not touch the stuff.
Well, I found this note, but I don't know what the hell it says.
I look over the note. I whispered to you that we've both been doing all the rest of the shit. I got a 28 for knowledge religion to who the father might be referring to.
Ooh. Well, let me ask you, who do you think the mother is? And that'll be your answer the best I can.
Ella Ugbo, but I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know who what gods are associated with Ella Ugbo.
No, that's fair. So for your own note, because of course you don't know the world lore as much here, there aren't any gods strictly associated in this age with Ella Ugbo. She's kind of her own entity in the fact, other than the those who are higher than her. Beyond that, there's not really much more connection other than, hey, she's also a god. The father, though, as you think for a moment, there's no terminology. In fact, you're 100% certain there's never been a terminology used in the same term to say that there was another figure. And to say there was a male figure to a follower of Ella Ugbo would be like saying Satan was Jesus himself to a diehard Catholic or Christian specifically, because they're the Christ worshippers. So in that sense, that this seems almost kind of contradictory in its own terminology. As you kind of take a moment and think about it, the best case it makes sense to you based on the religion roll that you got is it has to be some sort of ancient demon that must have existed before, or has to be referring to a completely different motherly figure.
Gotcha. I kind of like give Kez like the play-by-play that he just explained to at least like give him like my thoughts of it. Hopefully, as a follower of Ella Ugbo, he's got a better perspective on it.
Kez, you may know the religion.
Heard. Yeah, I was about to freeball it, but I think it'd be better for me to roll. Knowledge religion.
I mean, you can tell me what Kez is thinking right now. I will help you with your thought process based on your roll.
All right, yeah. So I did get a 17, but I was like, at least my initial first thoughts would be, I don't remember hearing anything about the father. It doesn't really come across in doctrine, I don't think, and that's when you tell me if there is anything special that comes out of this.
So similar to what Eider got, it would be in a sense to say there was a fatherly figure would to discount Ella Ugbo and her power and what she is as an individual. She is supposed to be a representation of a single mother who cares and takes care of all. She is the motherly figure, the one who caresses and gives you life and takes it away. So to put a secondary figure there would be almost insulting to her own capabilities and who and what she represents. But as you think about it for a moment, the one thing that's kind of come to mind throughout this entire adventure you've been on so far, Kez, is something kind of picking together that Ella Ugbo has to have been something before she became a god, as it seems that many other gods seem to follow a almost identical route. With what you've started to piece together, it almost seems like there is some big puzzle piece that's missing, and so you're unsure. You do know for a fact in the doctrine there's no mention of a father. There's no mention of it by any religious books that you've ever read or any notable texts. But it sounds fishy to you.
There's something wrong, Ader. I don't know what it is. This could potentially fracture at least the belief system of my religion, or it could potentially solidify it depending on what this father is. Thank you for showing this to me. I'll keep that in consideration, but I do not want to be holding on to that piece of literature.
Just kind of nod, shrug and say, I guess, you've thought about the direction you want to take the church, and it's effectively your church at this point. You're about the only follower left that I know of.
Well, with those books, I don't know if the members that this church lists are actual members, followers of Ella Ugbo, or just people who thought they were worshiping Ella Ugbo and were in fact worshiping somebody else. If that's the case, I can probably push something about the former pastor or priest was heretical in nature, but I don't know.
Eider.
I guess we'll have to see.
As Kez finishes stating that, the key on your belt, the one you had collected in Abaddon, begins to glow slightly as you notice the bright bluish light emanating from it.
I just look down at it hesitantly, sigh, and I start casting around looking for a door.
As you kind of look about, Ned and Kez, give me spot checks real quick.
Spot check.
Cool.
It's the one I'm better at. 17 plus 7.
Okay, so 24.
24.
24 and 24. All
Ah,
right.
nice.
As both of you notice, as Eider immediately his eyes start to kind of glimpse around, there's a little blue light that seems to be coming from his hip, and something almost seems to be fluttering. You ever stand on an angle or the side of a TV where you can't really see what's going on, but you can see the movement out of the side of your eye, and it just keeps kind of catching your attention.
Yeah, the lights moving and all that, you know?
Yeah, there seems to be different variations that seem to kind of just every once in a while keep catching and drawing your eye more towards it once again as Eider starts to look about.
Eider, remind me what that key does again?
It's esoteric. It's supposed to show me my destiny, whatever that means.
Huh. Well, it looks like a little piece of destiny is close by.
I just kind of nod, start wandering around. I
Like a little metal detector, it's like a hot, cold, hot, cold.
I call back to
Brighter,
Dom and Ned. I call back to Ned and Dom. Is whatever you do, don't touch the staff.
Dom is still down below, currently sweeping up dust and ashes into a bag to kind of take with them as a symbolism for their father. But as you say this back to Ned, who kind of looks at you, I will ask, are you taking the key off your belt, or are you just kind of walking around, like, leaning your hip closer to different areas to see if it, like, starts glowing more?
I'll, like, pull the belt, or, like, the key out, actually.
Okay.
I feel like it's a lot easier than just trying to, like, feel things with my ass, basically.
Yeah. As you kind of take a step away and take it off and hold it out, you notice, as well as Ned and Kez with your spot checks from earlier, on the bow of the key, which is to say the head of the key, if you're not familiar with key parts, I had to look this up. The bow begins to glow, and it shows a scene, and for a moment, you see either, and you hear the words in your head, "You will kill Kesnanok's god," kind of echoing in your head again, as you watch as the sigil of Kesnok that he wears around his neck, and on most of his weapons, his armor, his items, you see suddenly appears in the light and shattering. As it does, it then shows an image of Kez now just sitting there, standing behind you, staring at you, as it looks as if he's looking back into it, almost like an infinite loop.
Does Kez get that same image? Because I think he might have been able to kill me.
Kez can see the same thing, but since you're a little bit away and you are shorter by a good bit, with the spot check, Kez gets a rough... he sees the symbol cracking, but does not see himself. He just sees what looks to be a general frost giant, or fire giant looking basically at the key. It's hard to tell from this distance since it is such a small imagery, but the symbol is something that his eyes can click pretty quickly and sees it cracking apart. Ned, you catch this similarly. Basically the symbol that Kez seems to wear around his neck, almost cracking in the imagery from down below. And then some sort of frost giant kind of looking back at the key, looking at something, but it's a little rough to see from with how tall you are.
Interesting.
Interesting. Indeed. Well, looks like the future of my religion might be in jeopardy. But I've not been one to leave things up to fate. Well, I don't know how we're going to proceed. Later, when do you want to head off to the tomb? If you don't mind, I wish to make sure everything is sanctified and cleaned here before we head off and do that tomb. Of course, coming back here, I might need to stay here for a bit to make sure this church still keeps on going.
I will say, Kez, technically, right, you, being the highest ranked, at least from your knowledge, member of the church, can technically claim this now as your property, and as long as you are working for it as part of the church of your religion, and allowing people still to come in. So you can technically fully set up a small base here, in a sense, basically, if you wished.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's just a matter of when I leave, I need to make sure that, nothing happens to it. So I think I'm going to have to go and talk to, that guy at the manor.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Yeah. Is that what his name was? Yeah.
Yes, the king that you met? Og, yes.
Yeah, kings and stuff. It's not really my forte. I don't really have nobility. I'm playing.
He did introduce himself as king.
Nah.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't care about nobles.
Yeah, I just been like standing there, kind of like he just like got poleaxed. It like turns out like up to this. What?
I'm gonna wait till you get everything cleaned up here and make sure everything's all right. Maybe do shit, what's it called? Me the players.
Reconsecration.
Consecrate. Yeah, that's the word.
Thank you. I thought you were trying to tell Ida to go do some research on the tomb so you don't end up like Monday.
No,
we already did.
We already did the research anyway.
That's true.
I technically have a map of this fucking thing.
That's
as
true.
far as can be accurate.
I'm definitely going to be spending the night here. I'm going to work on consecrating the grounds around here just to make sure whatever residual, bad juju from that guy is gone. And I appreciate what you're doing with trying to get rid of the bad juju from those items. Thank you, Ada. You've done quite a bit to help me in trying to bring back my religion. I do appreciate that.
Ida like stares off in the distance and says, "Because I want you to know I believe in you. Whether or not your goddess is good or not is irrelevant. I think you'll carry on the spirit of her will, even if that means something different."
Not really sure how to take that, Ada, but thank you.
I just kind of like nod grimly. I like try and wait for like Kez to like try and quote unquote cast consecrate to destroy this thing again, and if not, I'm gonna try and like find Sprungus.
Yes, I used all my level 2 spell slots. I gotta wait for a second.
All right, fuck it. I'm gonna go find Sprungus to see if he can break this fucking thing.
Yeah, I gotta take a breather.
Yeah, as Kez kind of heads in, kind of finds himself a chair to pull over towards the lectern and begins to like clean the holy book to make sure to like that seems to be at the center of the sanctifying this temple. I assume Kez, you're gonna be working away at that for right now, trying to get this thing set up at the very least.
Yep, until I get a level 2 spell slot to actually consecrate, I'm gonna do the at least tidying up, making sure everything's all orderly and such.
Making sure there's no unholy symbols still hiding around the building.
Yeah, you know, a little investigation goes a long way.
As Kez heads about, Ned, are you gonna follow after Eider when he mentions going after Sprungus and Frungus to go meet with them, with the staff?
Yeah, I'll go with Eider.
Okay. Dom, you're still down below, but about around this point, you've finished wiping up the ashes of what you could get. As you kind of begin to tie off the little leather satchel that you kind of can... it's small enough at this point that you could either put around your neck or just kind of keep in a pocket or a bag of holding. You set it aside. It's about 8 ounces roughly of ashes as you manage to get done. What would you like to do as you begin to hear these sounds of your teammates moving about, and as you kind of pop your head out, kind of heading out of the room to look up the stairs, you see as they start to split up, and Eider and Ned begin to look like they're heading in towards town while Kez is heading back into the church.
I think Dom kind of watches Eider and Ned going to do something, presumably. Did I catch like the tail end of their conversation or no?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit
Okay.
about the fact of the reconsecration and yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think he hears that and he walks up and kind of wordlessly watches them leave and kind of gets sat down in like one of the pews, like glances over to Kez, who I'm sure is, if he's not maybe noticed me, maybe has, is regardless deep in his spell work. And Dom's going to kind of stay, both to kind of quietly contemplate what he's gone through and also just to not leave Kez alone, because he recalls Kez got almost ambushed alone because he wasn't with me and Eider, and it's not the first time, and so has decided, you know what, maybe we don't leave Kez unattended again.
I mean, that's
and
fair.
think he'll open up the pendant again. Can I make some kind of roll for that elvish figure to try to just get
Give
more
me
information?
Well, let me ask you, what does
Knowledge,
Dom hypothetically think this individual is? Because if you have nothing in theory of what they are, then I would say either doing a knowledge local for your hometown or a knowledge nobility to see if they would have any reason to have tie to your family for the elvish thing.
In the painting, do they seem like young or older?
They look really young. You'd guess
Okay.
human age, like if you did an exchange, they would probably be no older than maybe 8 to 10-ish in lifespan wise, like child age. While as you
So I
look at
think-
it, the image of you looks like the last one that when you had last seen your family.
So this looks... Dom sees this and looks, and he knows his time in the past in that environment. It is all pretty fuzzy because he's pretty young and decently traumatized. But I think he sees this figure and he's instantly thinking, is this one of the members? Is it important? Is this some kind of adoptee, like a sibling he wasn't aware he had? Was this just like a family friend or something from like before things got bad? Like he's just like kind of going through his head trying to unlock all those old like buried memories. Like these are things from his past he's actively tried to bury and is now kind of silently like digging through.
We'll just call this an intelligence plus 10.
Okay. I'm not very intelligent, as we know, but
That's
I will
why
try
I'm
my
giving
best.
that's why I'm also giving you a decent bonus, because I would normally I would say this would be something like a history check, but there's an argument on how history should work, and so since I'll call this just a intelligence plus 10. So you're a d20 plus your intelligence modifier plus 10.
19.
19
plus 10.
29.
Yeah.
As you think back, trying to remember every face in the cult, every individual that was ever involved in the cult, the multiple faces, the brown hair on the elven child also seems to stick out. While you're not familiar much with elves, as Regan Utham wasn't very big on allowing slaves in the capital to be really seen, keeping more of an opinion that they should be more of a like doing the work but not seen kind of mentality, as they were unsightly typically. The few elves you've seen would be very fair-skinned, very tall for their size, given they're still medium creatures, and very pretty, almost like Kesnanok in a lot of ways. Many of them would almost kind of remind you of Kesnanok, and actually surprisingly similar personalities, as many of them were also constantly angry about being called beautiful. So as you
I'm not a hot mama. I'm ugly. I'm a manly man.
Exactly.
I'm not gorgeous.
I'm ugly.
And as you think back for a second, most of those elves all had either dark skin, like almost purplish skin, and white hair, or they had very fair skin, like very white-like, and blondish, bright blonde hair. This kid has brownish hair and is dark and is slightly tanned. Everything about this child seems strange and foreign as you think about it. And nothing from the cult makes sense. Everything that kind of sticks to you makes you think that, at this point, you're unsure. There's no elven kid that you knew. There's no elven kid that makes sense. So either that's Oat in disguise, and this is his sick way of trying to hide away from everyone, or this kid is something completely different. You're 100% unsure though, at this point. The only thing you're sure of is that there is no one that looked like this from your past.
Okay. So I think, yeah, as Kez is like working and stuff, Dom's remaining like fully like quiet and silent to not disrupt him. But if Kez like peeks over and is like checking on Dom periodically as he casts this ritual, he would just see Dom hunched in, staring at the pendant, and just this growing, like, furrowed brow, and then he follows a line of thought, seems to almost be like he might be on the verge of it. Mm-hmm. And then there's that look of disappointment, like, no, that's not right, and then his face furrows again, and it's just that kind of look of, like, again, confusion and frustration, and then just this very obvious, because he's not attempting to hide it in this moment, of curiosity. There is a need to know that this is something new, this is something he's not aware of that he should be, and there's just this like burning curiosity of like, I need to solve this. As he's just gonna look at the tiny, well, I guess it's not a tiny pendant because it was on a large fire giant, but you know, this little pendant.
Okay. As you kind of spend your time looking around, imagine also looking to see if there's anything in the bottom cellar area that would give any signal to your family why the hell the cadaver was here, and as well as any information about Dragon's Crown after hearing that. As you kind of look about, I will mention this from the earlier check. One of the things you do find is what looks to be a little black book, Dom, that's kind of tucked away in one of the bookshelves that catches your eye. As you pull it out and flip through it, looking at it for a moment, you do read, it does seem to have a couple of what looks to be your name, Iders, Kesnanok, and Ned Grassentree. and each seems to have a couple like written weaknesses. Domnander noted as physically strong but incapable of high thoughts. Taking away intelligence will weaken the individual. Kesnanok, it lists weakness as weak-willed belief in his own god. Cracking that will shatter his entire powers. Eider, it states just shows a skull and crossbones next to for weakness. And Ned Grass and Trees shows the hanging of, or what looks to be 3 hanging geese, kind of hanging from a tree drawn out, and a smiley face put underneath. As you're kind of looking over this, as you flip over, you do read on the next page, Jakix Morin, overly confident, easily tricked into his own ego as a weakness. And then the last page on there that catches your eye is what reads, exactly in common, the plan. Don't write the plan down, step 1. Step 2, go and find Valthana. And then it seems to be kind of erased and rubbed out lower down.
Okay. So he did know to erase the rest of it. I think Dom is reading, and it gets to his, and I want to stay out of character. His strength is worse than his intelligence, so that he kind of looks at that and is like, physically strong, mentally weak, and is like, this kind of like arches a brow, looks at Kez's and kind of decides not to look obviously at Kez's direction, just to avoid that awkward interaction. Looks at Eider's and kind of, there's a bit of like a huff of air, not loud enough to be a laugh, but kind of like a bit of amusement. Looks at Ned and is like, yeah, that checks out. He continues reading. He sees Jakix's name and like makes a face. And then at the last part, I think he pauses, reads step 1, rolls his eyes, and then reads step 2 and curses in giant. So Kez would just hear, fucking bastard, and shuts the book a little bit loudly. He's probably on his way to the tomb. And like stands up from where he was sitting. And that's the first time he'll have spoke this whole time.
I have to fight that guy again?
As you mention this, we're gonna come back in a second. As you see a bit at the front doors of the church, still opened and kind of shoved to the sides, a black thing of smoke and a red silkened, merkin-tiled dressed individual with 2 kind of small red cat-like ears and a little black horn sticking out in front of them, kind of pops up in appearance. But before we get to that, Ned and Eider, as you are running down the street, you see as you come past one of the taverns, a small kind of hole in the wall that doesn't have an actual sign. It just has an image of ale, just painted onto a sign. Out in front, you see Sprungus and Frungus kind of sitting at a table, just enjoying themselves. Frungus, of course, eating. Sprungus seemingly just kind of staring at people that walk by, kind of watching for anyone that looks like a warrior of sorts. As you two pass by, I know, Eider, you were contemplating something. So I wanted to give you a chance in case you wanted to go an alternative route to as you come past them as they notice you. Of course, Frungus and Sprungus. Frungus may not be able to respond, but Sprungus is of course here.
You know what? I'll make sure invite them along because it seems like a good bonding moment and might help cement my my future place with the Church of Daddy, as I'm loath to call it now. There's some lightly out of breath, but not really because I've got a fucking 18 constitution. I can run for 4 days straight. Goddammit.
Very fit dwarf.
Yes. There's point off to the direction. It's artifact. Let's beat the shit out of it. Godly. specifically.
Oh.
Which god?
Sorry, let me
That's the
refer
question,
to my
huh?
notes real fast. Lethotera.
I look at Sprungus. Or wait, which one am I?
Yes, you
Chaston is Frungus, you're Frungus.
I want a shot of
Guys.
whatever you're drinking tonight.
You have to understand. It's been so long. Your fight has gone on for like 8 weeks.
It's a Dragon Ball Z episode, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'll look at Sprungo and go, I actually, Frungus doesn't say anything at that. He just shakes his head.
No, or
She's
yes?
like, no?
When you shake.
Oh, shakes his head no.
Okay, making sure.
Yeah.
As they see the gnarled staff, Frungus shakes his head.
Really? Oh, this is like your whole
Sorry,
thing.
little guy. That's above your pay grade.
The hell it is. Fine, I'm gonna show you the broken fucking splinters of this goddamn thing.
Please, by all means.
Alright,
It's
see
so
you in an
fun.
hour.
All right.
If you see daylight in the middle of the night, just know, do not be alarmed.
Okay.
Listen. Ah, shit. Never mind. I was gonna give him
Silence.
assistance, but I don't have my spell list up.
That's
Never
fair.
mind. I just slap him on his ass as he leaves.
You get a +2 to your rolls until you take a long rest because of
Wow.
it.
Not even Sprungus can help?
Either for the first time, with the fact that Frungus is like turning you down, you can't help but get a weird feeling. There's more to what's going on here than you're realizing, and you can't help but feel like you're missing information that may be direly important to your survival in this situation.
I like pause for a second, like got us followed, but probably turn back to Sprung. Is like, all right, why?
You turned to Sprungus?
Or sorry, Frungus.
No,
Both of
it's
you,
too late.
I just asked
Sprungus
both of you.
answer him.
Answer the man.
What do you want me to do?
You gotta read your. You've got to
I
read your
look
twins.
at my brother and go, "No, please, Sprungo, tell him why."
The Great Warrior.
I want to point out Sprungus has been knitting a cloak this whole time. I'm just like,
Like
Also
the
got his
grand.
magnificent crochet hoodie.
Yeah, the half
Dude,
asleep
the
grandfather
world's
who's been
largest
called on.
knitting.
I'm making a rock feather cloak. I've been making this for like 8 weeks now because of all the sessions missed.
It's just been in a fucking time loop.
God damn it.
Frungus and
I
Frungus
feel
are
like we're
finally
trapped,
free.
Sprungo.
My cloak,
It's like you're going through time, but it's never passing.
So say I can.
my cloak has unbound itself 6 times.
Oh god. That would just be pure hell. Ignoring whether or not you think I can do it. If I did, what's the problem?
Ooh, well, are you familiar with the god that is tied to?
Yeah, the necroelemental.
The what?
Necromental, if you will.
It is what he is, you know.
Okay, so you are. So you're just dense.
No, I'm just gonna break his shit.
If you think you can break that and have no consequences, by all means, little man. There are cultists walking around this very city.
We just fought.
I just met one today. He was, well,
About
you know,
a dragonkin
he
about
wasn't
a
very
couple-
attractive, but I'd still hit that.
I just start describing to him the dragon, the kobold kid that we fought.
Was the one I saw Koboldkin?
Yeah,
I
you.
saw him.
He looked, as they describe him, to be a battle dragon, dragonkin. And as they describe him, it's similar to almost a black dragon in appearance, but as they note the very specific highlights of him, you realize that individual you saw earlier limping and looked like he was getting beaten up as he was kind of walking funny. Was the individual that Ider's talking about.
He was weird. I saw him suddenly shrink.
I saw he was walking down the street, looked like he hit left and then hit right.
That was us.
Like he liked it.
He was a cultist of Lithotara, like you said.
Oh,
We were in the middle of
yes.
fighting him. Oh God.
Wolf
What is
dead.
happening?
He's dying.
What is happening, Wolf? Wolf is being possessed by a melodical robot. Frungus, why are you an android?
You watch as Frungus tries to explain the intricacies of the gods to you for a moment, Eider, and starts to go in high detail. And his language begins to morph, and the world around begins to almost slightly shift. And as he realizes it, Sprungus kind of elbows him lightly, and suddenly Frungus stops talking, and the world begins to change back, and his speaking ability returns to him, as you can understand him once more.
All right, since he can't tell you, you want a Sprungus level warning?
Sure.
God very strong, cultists nearby, don't do it.
I'm just gonna show him the dagger from Grandpa.
When he shows this, Sprungus, I need a will save for a fear effect.
You motherfucker.
Fear.
You might cause Frungus and Sprungus to literally just leave this city and it'll never come near you guys again.
Oh God damn!
Yeah, that's how.
Allies, Eider, are like one ally.
Frungus, I'm not gonna make you roll if you don't have access to your sheet right now. But if you want to, you are welcome to.
I got bad news.
Dog, I can't believe you showed one of the most powerful demons ever to these godly guys.
So that was a nat 1.
So Sprungus, what you see as he holds out this dagger now to Ned, it looks like a normal plain dagger with a simple design to it. There's nothing really at first, if you look at it, a glimpse looks like an average dagger with some cool coloration to it. Nothing fancy. Doesn't matter if you're immune to fear. This is caster. You'd have to have a caster level of 50 to be considered immune to this kind of fear, as a minimum. Which I know Frungus does not have a caster level 50. If you do, I apologize.
Fear. It's absolute terror.
Yeah, this is the stuff one of those fear effects that does go through immunity specifically for a reason. Because the character, this is Grandpa, the Elder King's item. As Sprungus, what you see in front of you is an item that is what your father would have basically instilled into a memory as you were being birthed and coming out of him. An item designed to not just cut up gods, but this is something that is so powerful it could literally destroy the entirety of the planet in a millisecond, and your father, your padre, couldn't even manage to. It'd be like taking an ant trying to fight a planet the size of Jupiter. There's no comparison here. That's just death. And that's the level of power difference you're seeing here, as you see only the simple face of death itself in Grandpa's demonic form appear in front of this thing.
So what I'm getting is, in Sprungus's literal infantile brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
These people are somehow tied to a creature that could kill my dad with less than a backhand.
Yeah, it would be like a One Punch Man compared to the like a baby.
I don't want to be near this party anymore.
Hey, if you leave us,
Good going,
with
Ader.
your grandpa and your father.
Zebril, or it's not Zebril, Frungus, you managed to just succeed high enough to manage to not feel an immediate need to escape, for your life just seeing this. However, you feel as if this item itself is a threat to your very existence, and being around it could kill you just if it's unsheathed by accident. your life is on a thin blade in a sense of how close you are to death right now. It is not a comfortable situation for you. Oh.
Gross.
As Sprungus looks extremely nervous, almost frozen like a deer in the headlights, staring at you. I will also mention, Eider, you notice 3 other holy men that were walking by, having what looked to be just heavy cloaks and carrying what looked to be very similar sigils to what Kez does. And actually, like as they're speaking the same words you've heard him speak before, the actual prayer that he's spoken for her. As they walk by, they seem to almost freeze and look on at you in horror from across the street. You watch as citizens coming around seem to be getting almost freezing in absolute fear, as you and Ned seem to be the only 2 unaffected.
Dog, put it the fuck away. God damn.
I haven't had more than a millisecond. Fuck
Put it away!
No, yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
No, it's like, okay,
Across
see,
the
like,
shirt.
stow it, seeing, like, everyone freaking the fuck out. It's like, sorry, I thought you'd just recognize it. I didn't realize it, was that potent. Just, like, kind of nonplussed, like, having, fear bombed, like, a half of a fucking city. Just wanted to point out, I've got bigger enemies.
Yeah, to give you an equivalent, he's showing you that he is marked for death by this being who's behind this power. Would be what Sprungus and Fergus would note as like a cultural thing for what this item means. This being, like, Eider is marked to be hunted and killed by this person.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think Sprung is going to have to kindly ask Eider to not come near him anymore.
It's like, hey, bro, we were cool, but not anymore, dog.
Yeah, you watch as Sprungus looks almost completely... there's a look of both absolute disgust at you, Eider, for a moment, that you would even bother to show something like this to him, but also a absolute look of terror in his eyes that it doesn't take a sense motive to see through as you once you put the dagger away. Everyone's seemingly calming down, but you notice citizens are giving you a wide fucking berth as you kind of look about. In Sprungus and Frungus's view, looks on their faces have not changed all that much.
Yeah, I honestly seems a little hurt, kind of crestfallen. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'll pick up Frungus and put him on my shoulder as we leave.
As Sprungus go, I can't do the voice, so I do apologize for the viewers at home. Sprungo, oh boy, we're leaving, and the whole bar and the small hand and a significant portion of the town that all now love me will come with us as we leave.
Yo, I think the king might be a little mad at that, just taking a small portion of its population.
You will get your mercenary group that it's coming with you, and most of the people who have sworn fealty to you, but the interest will be broken as Og will actually try to kill you if you take his citizenry. He is not a man who's afraid to show his teeth, as his first death was against Falthar, or not Falthar, against Ogarin. No, it was Falthar. He got his butt kicked by. So, yeah, he doesn't like, he's not going to let you walk away with his civilians, just as a forewarning. But as you see as Sprungus and Frungus kind of stand up straight and begin to back away cautiously from you, they don't show their backs to you as they continue to back away. You hear as Frungus shouts out for the mercenary company and his other people to come with him, yelling out a few other things as he does his famous princess wave, although keeping a serious and locked eyes on Eider at the entire time as he backs away. Sprungus looking, I imagine, seemingly like his hand is itching over his weapon at all times as he is watching you, Eider, with caution.
Oh, his hand's on his handle.
Yeah. But as they back away, you watch as a small crowd follows them, and eventually they make it around a corner and vanish out of the town, leaving you and Ned kind of standing in the middle of the road, almost alone in the quiet town.
Yeah, I just kind of like leave while they're leaving. I was like, I was a little hurt. He just wanted to have like his God Slaying buddies, apparently.
As you kind of accepting this and a little hurt at the situation and kind of trying to figure out what to do with this, you start to head back towards the church.
I try to pat Eider on the back, but I forget how short he is and probably smack him in the back of the head.
Feel like a heavy patting
hard,
on,
but-
yeah, like a heavy patting on the top of your head. Like almost as if you feel like almost a kid for a moment again, and your father is doing this to you, and then you realize you're a grown man, and this is a grown man doing this to you, and this is really awkward suddenly.
I mean, I've been around giants for fucking long enough. I think like the size things like
That's
start
true.
like kind of like weighing off a little bit.
It's still weird to be
My
pat
bad.
on the head.
It's like you gotta get used to it whenever that's the only thing they could fucking reach.
That's true.
Like they're 3 times my size. It's not even close.
As Ned
It's true.
looks
We have to
down
get
and-
like on our hands and knees to get level.
As Ned looks down and says, "My bad" at that.
It's
I
alright.
like what you did with your hair. It's nice and soft.
I have a helmet on.
Ned can reach through helmets.
Ned, as you look down, you see the top of the helmet has a bit of your fingerprints in it, and you realize you might have crumpled it a little bit.
There's no fucking way he crumpled that a man time. I fucking 0 chance.
Yo, man.
God damn it, Ned! Quit sandbagging with your power level.
Oh, we lost Ned.
You
Yeah,
should not
totally.
get good.
Oh, fuck off. Alright, let's go. Let's switch seats so we can watch Dom and Kez get fucking cursed for all eternity.
As you start heading back, let's jump back over quickly to Kez and Dom. As you stand, or kind of mentioning Dom about the book and come up to talk to Kez, you seeing Kez kind of wiping the last bit of blood out of these sigils in the Holy Book to try and clean it off to make sure the Holy Book will actually work as a focal point for the re-sanctifying of the entirety of the church. As you look out, both of you seeing this black smoke appear at the entrance, this tall, well, not tall to you lot, as he appears only about 6 feet in height, his heavy silk merchant attire kind of protruding out and glimmering as he fixes his little golden bow tie. He smiles over his little cane still in his hand as he kind of leans on it. His shoes kind of clacking on the cobblestone and wood bits of the flooring as he walks in and goes, "Kesnanok, once again, always in the middle of everything I'm doing. Between you and James Frosthorn, I don't truly know which is more of an annoyance to me. If you don't remember me," as he kind of bows deeply and kind of puts his hand on his chest, he goes, "My name is Jakix Morin, your favorite compatriot." He kind of wipes off some dust off of his shoulder. As he goes, I gotta ask, are you just trying to get involved in all of the mishaps of the world, or are you just truly this unfortunate like your namesake attests to?
Could be a little bit of both.
You're not the talkative sort. Dom, what about you? I do apologize. I can sense that you're going through something emotional. I can't imagine what, but I do give my condolences. Since we're at a church, I imagine one of you lost your compatriot. Was it the short dwarven one?
No, he's still kicking.
Oh, what about the fella I scared the crap out of in Diamond's death? Oh, what was his name? Little thief. Or a mask?
He's no longer. I do not know exactly what happened with him in the end, but he's no longer with this party.
Oh, well, I've got him tied up in a little room while I gallivant as one of the members of the Ironheart Merchant Company, but that's not your business. I gotta ask, if you don't mind between the two of you, and while your friends are off dealing with those who I did not want to see. And thank you for kind of bringing the dagger back. It scared your little bodyguards off, so I don't have to worry about them anymore. Are you planning to get involved in the situation with Cataclysm, or would you like to actually live a long and fruitful life for your church?
All I care about is bringing back my religion.
Well, would you be willing to, say, guarantee your religion in the exchange of forsaking another? No one you would know, but in a sense, someone related to your circumstance, another hero of sorts that can only be balanced out with the exchange of another's power. I'd be willing to give you your guarantee of the church's survival in exchange for a close, as he begins to smile, his yellowish teeth kind of very sharp as they appear, goes, a very interesting friend of mine who needs a little humbling here soon. You'll get your church, I get my revenge, we're both happy, and I'll even do you one better. I'll take off the marks on each of your necks. As he kind of bows at that mention and then stands back up, not moving any closer as he seems to stay about 40-ish feet from you, about 5 feet into the doorway and seemingly standing there. As he watches Dom kind of, I imagine, at the staircase, or at the top of the staircase, just standing there while listening and watching all this.
I will not compromise my ideals, nor the ideals of my church, to get what I want.
It wouldn't, though.
I will not. Even so, Jakix Morin, I will not be making a deal with you.
Why did you have to say no?
Can,
Yes?
as this is happening, just because Dom's listening and not speaking, because obviously the question's directed at Kez, can I prepare an action that if Jakix begins to seem like he's casting a spell or like going for Kez, that I can just swing on the guy? Like just a reaction, like a prepared
So a full
held
charge?
action.
Yeah, it'd be a prepared charge.
Yeah, or like just like literally, going to grab him, going for him. I assume he's within 10 feet, and if not, Dom
no,
will like.
He is specifically keeping a decent distance. So he is, if you get up right next to Kez, I believe I said 30 feet from Kez. No, 40 feet. My apologies.
Okay.
With a 5 foot into the church itself. So as he stands there.
Is there a way to? If I subtly move closer, he'll notice. Yeah, then I'll just have a reaction to if he gets close attack, or to potentially like shove Kez out of the way of like a spell.
Okay.
Like a spell attack, I guess, like an area of effect thing.
He continues and goes, I really, really wanted you just to say yes to make both of our lives so much easier. So I'm gonna give you some incentive. How about? I'm gonna give you, what do you think, 10 days? 10 days seems like a fair number to me. 10 days sounds like a good number. I'm going to give you 10 days to choose. You either take my deal or the next stage of the plan begins. And you and your little friends like Domnander over there, like Ned Glassentries and Eider, will all find themselves involved, and your friend Zilpip will not be able to assist you at this time as, well, you've already ensured his unfortunate demise. So,
will that be all?
Kind of stops at that and kind of looks at you and goes, oh, Kaznanak, one day you're gonna want to work with me, and then you'll learn of the truth behind who cursed you and why you're cursed. And then we'll see if you're as faithful as you always have been. As the smoke starts to kind of surround him and he starts to dissipate, his voice kind of trailing off as he vanishes. Around the same time that you see Eider and Ned kind of starting to, or not at this point up at the church itself, but seemingly in the distance you can kind of get an angle of them from the road itself, of them turning around and coming back, it looks like.
Gotcha. Before they come back into earshot, I want to talk to Dom real quick.
Yeah.
And be like, listen, let's not mention this to the others, but I will say this: make sure I never make a deal with that man, no matter what.
Oh, trust me, I will keep you in check as long as you do the same for me, and kind
Checks
of
and
like
balances,
acknowledges this like kind of pact we're making. This bro pact.
Checks and balances, Dom Nander. Checks and balances.
As the
Also,
Predator handshake.
as the two of you
does he
kind
have
of like
cat ears? That
as,
seems weird.
as the two of you kind of grasp each other's hands, in the like a signing of an unspoken pact at this. You do notice as the last of the ash dissipates from the smoke of Jukix disappearing, something seems to flutter down and almost towards you and lands on top of the book itself, the holy book of El Ugbo. And as you look down, in common it reads, if you're interested, I offer you this free information. Folkvies in Dragon's Crown, and she and Valthana are somewhat related. If you don't hurry soon, Valthana and Lagrosa will take the artifact and run. As you look it over, as you kind of both read it for a moment, kind of silently seeing it, it begins to burn away and vanishes just as soon as you finish reading it in your head.
Dragon's Crown.
Dragon's Crown.
What does that mean?
The last things my dad said to me before he died, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dragon's
Oh,
Crown.
that's-
What the
that's
fuck
not
does
good.
that mean?
Okay, so out of character to note this, Kez, you do know the city of Dragon's Crown as the capital of Movasi's empire. The main,
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
yeah, that's like
Yeah,
a
thank you.
huge thing on your in the fire giant culture, especially with your backstory. You would know that specifically.
Oh, yeah. I heard. What the
Mhm.
Dragon's Crown?
Ah, that Dragon's
What does this
Crown.
have- What does this have to do with anything? Strange.
Those are the words. I'm not sure if you guys overheard, but that's what my father whispered to me before he died. Valthana and Folkley must be equally involved in his death and therefore dealt with.
Oh, man. It's one thing to go to
Hopefully
Dragon territory, Dom. It's another thing to go to the capital of the Dragon King.
Well, if we do not go there to meet them, then we must act quick here and prepare for them to meet us. Folkvie is... He
No,
kind of
Dom.
looks at you,
We'll do it.
and there's
We'll
this,
go.
like, mixed thing on it, like, expression on his face, just like... Folkvie... Valthana, I do not know her motives. Folkvie's motives, I do know. And let's just say, I don't know if she wants me dead or alive, but she's after me. And to be honest, he kind of like clenches and unclenches his fists. With my interaction with my father, I'd like her dealt with.
Well done. One step at a time. First off, this tomb. Then, I'm certain we can find our way over to that fucking crown. All right.
Can Dom also inspect the sword / staff thing I've been holding on to? Has it done anything as I've been like having it in my grip and like kind of doing all this stuff with it? Because I have not set it down.
I will say, yeah, your belt is still glowing, and the sword turned back to a staff. As you look over at it, it looks kind of dull now comparatively from earlier, and seems to have lost almost its complete color, almost as if it's aged. However, your belt, in exchange, also seems to have changed to a darker color, almost a blackened leather, going all the way across, and the runes on it are beginning to glow. The first rune on the far right now seems to have shifted and seems to now read the word darkness is accepted.
Oh, that is the most emo thing. That is concerning. Is that in giant
Correct.
or common? Okay, because I remembered the description said part of it was in giant, and then there's a part in abyssal, which I know Dom cannot read.
Mm-hmm.
So Dom's kind of like looks at the item, seems to have a sense that it has lost its magic, or to some degree just not accessible with him, and looks a bit irritated, and then kind of glances at the belt and at the glowing runes, and given it just appeared on him, and he doesn't have the knowledge of the party, but knows it just kind of appeared on him, he's like, well, before the tomb, I might need you and Iter to take a look at these things. I'm worried about these magic items, and kind of will, like, gesture for Kez to read the runes that are now...
Kez, as you try to read the runes, there's no runes there for you to see.
Oh.
Huh. Well, Dom, I'm sorry to say, but if there are allegedly runes on this belt of yours, I can't see them.
Dom kind of looks, narrows his eyes down kind of at his waist, and seems to think that over, and what that could possibly mean.
As you look down, Dom, you count 9 runes in total.
It's all in your head, 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 it's all in your head.
Does it? What do I still? So I still get the other part that was in the description, right?
Correct. That is still shown there for you to read.
And this part, and then does it seem to be a part that is not yet illuminated, or like a blank spot in which runes are not yet written?
The runes do seem to have like strange markings. They don't seem to symbolize anything as of yet, as it seems to go on beyond that. So it's almost as if they slowly shift and move around as this item seems to change. At least to what you're seeing.
You cannot see it, but whatever connection this belt has to me now, I'm beginning to read its full inscription. It seems there is more on it. If I have to guess, and he kind of hoists up the stick, can I attempt to, given it has lost its luster, and as far as Dom can tell, doesn't seem magical, see if it will break in my hands like a regular wooden staff?
Yeah, try give me we'll just call it a strength check, because I assume you're just trying to crack it with your hand.
Yeah, just crack it like over my knee, like as an example, just to prove his point.
Give me a strength check.
Oh no, come on, Dom. Do I still have the spell that Kez casted before? I assume not.
No, it's been a hot minute, yeah.
So, because I don't have a bonus to my strength, 2.
Well, as Kez tries to demonstrate by cracking the wood over their knee, or not Kez, sorry, Dom. Dom takes the staff in hand and kind of like tries to bend the metal over their knee, and as it goes, the metal does not bend. Instead, you see Dom beginning to kind of sweat as they're trying to like pull it down over their knee, and as they kind of finally pull it up, they smack it hard down on their leg one more time, and doesn't bend, but as they pull it away, you can definitely see Dom is not putting much weight on that leg now.
Anyway, that does not matter. Point being, I don't think the staff has magic in it, which means I think, knowing the nature of how some of these items are, I think my belt has the magic now. Do you get what I'm inferring? I'm not very well versed in magic.
You know, Dom, anything that's arcane, you're better off asking Iter.
And the camera pan is there yet?
As you turn over and see Iter staring at the staff, contemplating, tossing like a ton of magic into it, as Ned, I imagine, stands a few feet away.
Okay. Iter, I guess Dom will kind of go out like, Iter, what are you doing? Just like squinting?
Just like, I'm breaking this fucking thing.
Can you do not in my church?
Before you break the staff, which I would love to help you with,
Don't touch
Can
it.
you tell me if this staff is magical anymore? And also look at the belt. It's changing.
You mean the belt we were told to not let you wear?
The
Yeah, we
what?
need to. Yeah. The belt drives you insane, and you bring all of everything you love to ruin. Lutham's empire, the nation of giants. You start to help collide the world of Abaddon with the material plane.
Mm.
So
Dom reaches down. I will attempt to take the belt off. I'm assuming it does not work.
You, even at the thought of it, begin to feel your head lightening, and you get slightly dizzy as you even try to move your hand near the belt. Give me a fortitude save to see if you can manage to stay on your feet.
I was gonna say, yeah, okay. Fortitude save. I do decent at fortitude saves. If I repeat it, it's true, guys. 25.
25. Good news. You do keep your feet. Bad news. Your arms go numb.
I have bad news. Several things of bad news. First, my arms are numb. That will be a problem if we're ambushed. I need those to fight.
You just see the two noodle arms kind of sweating in the wind.
I woke up with this belt on me, and I cannot get it off, and it made my arms go numb when I tried. Third thing of bad news. I think it ate the powder in the staff. I can see runes on it that Kez cannot see.
how many?
9. And Dom's just kind of like sweating as he's sitting there, like he's gone through a lot of emotions, and that's not Dom's forte. So he is just like trying to hold it together.
Ira like slowly shakes his head and says, "I think it's supposed to do with the 9 weapons. You were holding a few of them in a vision we saw, so I think you're supposed to absorb from out of their power."
And you said this thing makes me kill Regan Utham?
It helps you kill. I kind of like kind of gesture like down to like the basement and is like, "You saw what it did to you," and it doesn't stop doing that, from my understanding.
Dom's gonna in just panic. I know this isn't gonna work, and I'll roll whatever. Just in his panic at like now he's realizing what this belt might try to do, is gonna attempt to tear it off of himself again with his numb arms.
I will say, Dom, yeah, go ahead. Give me another fortitude save, and then give me a will save.
Okay. Fortitude save is a 17. Will save. Nat 20, 27. I'm so willful right now.
Okay, I'm gonna ping you something for a second.
Since I've had a nat 20.
Dom,
hey, join the club, buddy.
all Dom knows is this thing put him into a rage. He punched his chest through his father. He's coping with that, and now this thing is eating items, and he's gonna bring about the ruin of Utham's kingdom. So he is just like, you see him like full on like sit down. So he's like hunched over, like trying to like just contort his body to just pull this thing off.
There you go. For your reference, I will mention for those who worry.
Suffering these past few sessions.
I was gonna say, for those worrying about the PMs, I did earlier. My favorite was the rage. I did PM specifically. You do not feel the rage to suddenly kill Kesnanok. So
He literally messaged,
don't worry.
Tom feels the need to not kill Kez, and that's when I was like, yes, I see.
So, don't worry. I just PM stuff that's like, okay, this goes on in your mind. So yeah, that's what you get. That's what happens as you you do succeed the will save, but you do fail the fortitude save. Your body begins to weaken, and you basically fall on your butt as your legs fall out from underneath you.
This is
Hey,
this
buddy,
is bad.
how's
This
it
is
going?
bad.
How's it going, man?
This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. And Dom's just
man.
kind of like clawing at the belt to no avail.
Hey, man, listen, a lot of bad things happen. A lot of things have been happening to both of us for about a couple of days now, but the only thing that we can do is just keep on fighting it. Don't let whatever assumedly predetermined action take hold of us. I mean, they could be lying to us for all we know. Could all just be fabrications to make us lose ourselves.
Hyder
What
says,
I am,
"Yep,"
what I
and
am.
blasts the fucking staff again.
What I am if the dark path I see the rune of Uther's key. Oh, and he's just like
Dom, look at me. Look at me, Dom. If
he's like slowly standing up with his numb like jelly limbs, just like leaning on a pew and kind of just looks at you.
If Dom, that's not an assurance. It's simply a maybe.
Right.
We can work with maybes.
Maybe. If I get stronger, if I find a way to deal with the magic item, if I could take the item from the belt. And you see Dom like suddenly get like a deep thought as like gears start turning and he seems to like start trying to contemplate courses of action. Do I know if the belt, like the 9 items, has like soul type powers in it? Like, is it a creature locked in it, or is it just like pure arcane?
You don't know. You didn't see anything, and Regan Utham was the only person who was told or spoken to about it by themselves was Hyder, unfortunately, and Hyder never shared any of the specifics with you guys, other than that he was leaving the weapon behind with Regan Utham. He planned to come get it later for when you guys were ready.
At the time, it didn't come up as important, and now I don't know that you don't know it.
So, but yeah, you don't know about the fact
Dom
of the items having souls yet.
Dom did say he just had the belt appear, and it won't come off. But yeah, that's valid.
You did. You woke up and suddenly had the belt on you. You in Abaddon, and you woke up here, and you suddenly had the belt on you, and you don't remember getting the belt. You were just you just had it.
Yeah, I do remember it specifically being stated that it was like one of Grunaga's items, the Grunaga. So I'm pretty sure it's a Demon Lord item and is cursed in equivalent power. So I'm not going to touch it just yet until I've got a good handle on destroying, deific artifacts, starting with this fucking thing.
As Hyder kind of looks down at it, kind of like staying in good distance, Kez trying to assist you and calming you down. Ned kind of watching on in the background to no avail to see what happens. You all kind of begin to focus, spend the rest of the afternoon kind of Dave trying to figure out what to do. Given what's happened, given all that's gone on there with the belt, the Jakix talking about Valthana, Folkvi, the background, or the whole Absalon and his death, you all begin to kind of, as you take a moment and really start to think, it takes a bit, as you guys begin to spend the rest of the day working through and trying to figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to handle these things. We're going to end session there for today. We thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed. And while this might not be the best ending point, we hope you'll come back for when we return, when the party has a chance to think and process. See you all next time.